Hello and welcome to the United Stand. How are you all doing? I have got my glasses on at the moment. My eyes are very, very tired. I will take them off in a bit. It's just that I have a bit of reading to do at the start. And also watch along, lots of comments to read. So I may keep them on for a little bit, I may not. How are we all doing? Looking good for Alexis Sanchez. I'm not going to go to town on it. We did tell you last Sunday lunchtime, and as the minute it is official, we will tell you why we knew it was done. And I hope many of you have had a more relaxing week than some United fans who've been melting up and down like a yo-yo about this deal. Oh, it's not going to happen. Oh, it is going to happen. Oh, it's not going to happen. It's always going to happen. It was always going to happen. Even DiMarzio coming out at lunch and saying it's very, very close. It is very close. He did leave. I tweeted last night. You can follow me on Twitter at Mark Goldbridge. I did tweet at about midnight last night that he'd left the Arsenal hotel. I've got a funny feeling around 9 o'clock tonight. Could be still, even, they might keep it back till Monday. I don't know, but it's very, very, very close. Clark Kent, says Andy Manchester. So yeah, we're feeling positive about the Sanchez thing, but we must park it. We must park it because Chelsea are winning. They're level on points with us before we play, and we've got to win today. I'm sure Liverpool will win their game. Spurs are coming through like a train. We've got to win today. We dropped 2 points at home to Burnley. Remember, they were 2-0 up at half-time. In fact, I was watching that game on MUTV last night, and we did well to get back and get the point on Boxing Day. So, will be a tough game. We made a few defensive errors in that game, and we need to be on it today. I'm hoping the team news is going to reflect the confidence I have. I would go with the same team as Stoke, as I said in my preview. I think Ashley Young will probably come in for Luke Shaw, but I think Matic and Pogba as the midfield too. Lingard, Mata, Martial, Lukaku. That is exactly how I would go with that. In fact, I'm very, very confident. So confident I've put a little bet on, which you can do yourself through the link in the video description. We'll come to that in a moment. But we are waiting this team news. Remove those glasses, says MD. I might do in a minute. But what's up, United Stand, please? Oh no, don't do that. Professor Goldbridge. Yeah, I'm going a little bit. I'm going for that more intelligent look now that we are officially the #1 Manchester United in the know accounts, because we're the only ones who said it was officially done with Sanchez last Sunday lunchtime. In relation to Sanchez and United agreeing their part, obviously it's not officially done until the Arsenal bit's done, but it will be very, very soon. We are awaiting the team news. We're about 60 seconds away. Michael Van Gerwen says Luke Shaw will start. And it's 2:58 AM in New Zealand, says Landon Potter. It's a big game to watch. I think it's a really big game to watch. Austin Powers presenting, Kevin Hallen. Yep, I love all the glasses jokes. I love it. De Gea will carry us, says Ike MJ. And it's obvious United's big signing is the new #7. I've seen a lot of people messaging me today saying that they've got the #7 on their shirt. Could still be a risk. I think you'll be okay. Ave says now we've got 180,000 subscribers. Sanchez feels ready to sign. Victor Simonov says, what is the Sanchez news? Very, very close. Very, very close. United could announce it and say it's pending the medical. It is ridiculously close now in relation to that. But the team news is coming in. I really don't expect there to be any shocks. Hence, there'll probably be a shock. But, you know, there shouldn't be any Fellaini near this team. We won 3-0 on Monday night. It should be the same team. The only change I expect him to make is probably Ashley Young comes in at left back, which I probably would prefer Luke Shaw to play there, but you can't argue. You know, he was suspended, Ashley Young. He's not really done anything wrong, so he probably will play. But we are just awaiting the Manchester United team news, which will be very, 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 very soon. There's also something else I want to update you with at 2 o'clock as well. In fact, I can do that for you now. Alexis Sanchez, not part of Arsenal's squad at all. Not on the bench. Not in the team, so that just confirms the news that we fed out last night that he has left Arsenal, which is interesting, very, very interesting. And I presume Fosu Mensah will be playing against Arsenal this afternoon, so we'll keep an eye on that. And without further ado, the United team comes in, and it is as predicted. Luke Shaw drops to the bench. De Gea, Valencia, Smalling, Jones, Young, Matic, Pogba, Mata, Lingard, Martial, Lukaku. I've got it right, 11 out of 11. It wasn't particularly difficult. I do like Luke Shaw. I wanted him to be part of the team today, but he isn't. The bench is particularly weak. Romero, Rojo, Shaw, Fellaini, Herrera, McTominay, Rashford. Not a lot of explosive sort of flair on there, especially the form Rashford's in at the moment, but interesting when Alexis Sanchez comes into that sort of equation. You'd probably drop McTominay out there and maybe drop Mata to the bench, and suddenly we've got a very, very strong squad. So very, very happy with that team for United. Darmian leaving, says Amosi. Well, he can't get near the bench at the moment. No Shaw, WTF says, I'm not going to act surprised. I sort of predicted that would be the case, and it is the case. Simples. Simples. Yeah. I didn't expect Luke Shaw to be part of the team, the first lineup today. I thought it would be our man Ashley Young walking back in. Remember, only yesterday, Jose Mourinho saying that he is the best left back in the world at the moment, one of, but not so good that he can't make the team. And also Lindelof drops out as well, which I think is, again, a bit of a shame. I mean, what has Victor Lindelof done wrong? Harsh, ruthless, whatever you want to call it. It's there is no place for him, and you probably only wants one centre back on there, and feels that Rojo, who again you could say probably a little bit unlucky, but the team is going up for you now on the screen below. That is the Manchester United team: De Gea, Valencia, Jones and Smalling, Ashley Young, Matic, Pogba, Lingard, Mata, Martial, Lukaku, and then your bench. Obviously Romero comes back on the bench. I think he does anyway. I've assumed he does. Yes, he does. Romero, Rojo, Shaw, Fellaini, Herrera, Rashford, McTominay. So should be good enough to win the game. Should be good enough to win the game with that team. The best left back in the world is not playing, says Steve Simpson. And Mark, we hit 180k. Sanchez is going to sign today, says Zach Tai. I agree. Ridiculous about Shaw, says Vincent O'Hara. Look, I don't disagree with people who are frustrated about Luke Shaw not playing. I totally understand and I totally agree. But at the end of the day, I totally expected it to happen as well. Really didn't think that we would see him playing. Really did think that he would go with old Ashley Young. In some ways it's difficult, but he obviously likes Ashley Young in that position, and I'm sure it was a very difficult decision. A very difficult decision to make. I mean, I don't know. What do you lot think? I would have played Shaw. I'm not unhappy with Ashley Young. Going to put a tweet out, see what people on Twitter think, and then we'll see what you lot think. Just give you a few seconds. Any progress on the Seri deal, says Prince Nisha. I'm not really into the transfer stuff at the moment. It's game face time. Apart from the glasses, it is game. I'm wearing them because I'm very tired. My eyes are very tired. And people have said it before. Does Mark suffer with a lazy left eye? Well spotted, I do. So that's why I wear glasses sometimes when it gets really tired. So yeah, I've got them on at the moment. Is Sanchez going to be paid 500,000 a week? Says Sash Schmidt. Couldn't give a damn. Could not give a damn. I think I agree with James Hackett. I think Alexis Sanchez enhances our chances in the Champions League. I don't think we've got a great chance in the Champions League, but I certainly think he makes us a better team, which is, we'll be better equipped in the Champions League with Sanchez than we were without. So that makes it far more interesting and exciting in the Champions League. I personally think that quarterfinals or better could be really good for us, but maybe semi-finals. We do need to win today. A lot of people saying that. Martial is a beast, says EMH Gaming. Actually, very interesting as I flick back to Twitter, because I did put this out before. Who is the current fan favourite for Manchester United fans at the moment? And it is... let me just have a quick look at it. We had 10,000 votes. 40% went with Pogba, 29% De Gea, 25% Martial, and 6% Lingard. Personally, I would have put Martial there, but Pogba's obviously a fan favourite at the moment. Andy, can you hear me?
Yeah, hi Mike, how are you doing?
I can't hear him. Oh, I know why, because I don't have my thing on. Andy, can you hear me?
Yeah, hi Mark, how are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. Give us your thoughts on the team news then. Luke Shaw is pretty much the talking point at the moment. I predicted it on the preview last night that Ashley Young would come back in. Any surprises, any concerns about
that? No, I think on current form, you couldn't really pick any other team than that, could you? I am a bit disappointed that Luke Shaw's not starting, because he's played really well in Ashley Young's absence, and he is our only natural left back. So I can definitely see why people are a bit concerned that Luke Shaw's not starting, but it is what it is, isn't it? But yeah, like I said, on current form, I don't think you could pick another team than that, and it should have more than enough to beat Burnley.
No, I mean, I remember talking about Luke Shaw a few weeks ago after he'd had one particularly good game in December, and I said if he can just, when he gets his opportunities in like the FA Cup and that, if he can just keep doing those sort of performances, and then, around February time, maybe playing a little bit more, he might be able to force Ashley Young out for next season. I think he's ahead of schedule. I think because of the suspension to Ashley Young, he's played a few games, he's really impressed Mourinho. I just think that at the moment Mourinho, I mean, it's a prime example of what Mourinho is all about. He does favour experience over younger players, and that is why I knew he would pick Ashley Young. I haven't got a problem with him picking Ashley Young, but on the other hand, I can understand why people are a bit frustrated.
Yeah, for sure. Like you said, it's all about Luke Shaw regaining his fitness, and to be fair, he did play really well in those 5 games. So it is what it is. And I actually think as well, if we are to move Young on or give him a new contract or whatever, if Luke Shaw is our left back for next season, I think we actually need some cover for him as well, especially with his injury record. If he is going to be our first choice left back, we need some cover for him.
Yes, well. Yeah. I did the video this morning talking about the potentially only 2 more transfers in the summer. Ossian Lloyd has made not made a contribution. He's made a comment. He says the wife had the baby. We called him Paul. Such a good day, and would be amazing for us to get 3 points. So congratulations to Ossian and his wife, and also Paul. Welcome. I hope he's another United fan, part of the family, so congratulations with that. Young has been great this season, says Forest Dweller. Exactly, and Danny Green says Young's not been bad. I'm happy. I totally don't really have much of a problem with him coming in. He has been very, very consistent.
Yeah, he has. He has, in fairness to him, and it's the kind of problem you want, isn't it? That is the so-called good problem that you want. 2 players in good form.
Yes, definitely. I mean, are you confident about this game? What's your sort of feel for it? We were 2-0 down against them at half-time at Old Trafford just a few weeks ago on Boxing Day. They're flying high, Burnley. We know Chelsea, well, I think they've won. I'd expect Liverpool to win their game. So, they'll be waiting. We've got that 3-point cushion at the moment, but teams are waiting for us to slip up. And this is a game that, if it potentially is a game where we will slip up. Burnley doing very well, tough to beat at their place. Are you confident?
I'm confident it is going to be a really difficult game. I think they've only conceded 20 goals all season or something ridiculous like that. I think they're 4th. They've got the 4th best defence in the league, which is just crazy. So it is going to be a difficult game. Big physical team, Burnley. I think we know what to expect. But yeah, I think we should have more than enough to beat them. But yeah.
What's your score prediction, Andy?
I'm going to go 2-1 United. I think we'll score first, they'll equalise, but then I think we'll nick it 2-1. That's what I'm going to go for.
Yeah, I think I went 2-1. Which reminds me, actually, we've got the link in the video description. Let me just flick over to this. It's with Coral. The sign-up offer is 50-1. All you've got to do is put a £1 bet on for Manchester City and Newcastle for a goal to be in that game. So that's the sign-up offer. £1 bet. Really, really good offer that they've given us through Coral. The link's in the video description for that. But as you can see on the screen, once you've signed yourself up, this is the, obviously we're a Manchester United fan channel, and it's a Manchester United bet that we've got for you today. This is what I've put on, but you might fancy something else. So once you've signed up, just go to football, go to Burnley versus Manchester United, which is there, and then, whatever takes your fancy. Remember, you've got to be over 18 and do gamble responsibly. But this is the one I've gone for. Romelu Lukaku to have 2 shots, Nemanja Matic to win 2 tackles, and Manchester United to win. Effectively, it's 3-1. So I've put £4 on because I've had my £1 on the Man City Newcastle goal in that game. £4 on that will give you about £15 back, I think it was. I quite fancy the look of that. Lukaku's bound. I'm not saying he will score the shots, but I think he'll have 2 shots. You'd expect Matic to get a couple of tackles in, and then Manchester United to win, which is what I'm going for. If you fancy something a little bit more reserved, you could just go Manchester United to win the game outright. I think a tenner gets you £15 back. So, but yeah, they're the couple. But there's some good odds there. Would you fancy Lukaku to score today, Andy?
Yeah, I would fancy him to score today, as long as he gets the service.
So the link's in the video description for that. Get yourself on it. Really, really good sign-up offer. Just put £1 on Man City and Newcastle to score. You get it at 50-1. And also, as I said there, I'll just show you it again on the Manchester United screen. That's my tip of the day. Romelu Lukaku to have 2 shots, Matic to win 2 tackles, and Manchester United to win. And if people are joining us for the watch-along, just keep an eye on Lukaku shots and Matic. I'm going to write it down myself as well, because we'll know if it comes in then. We'll know the winning parts come in, but I just want to write down 2 tackles, 2 shots, because that's a little bit of extra fun during the game if it's a boring one. So let me come back to getting us on the visual. There we go, and let me get the live comments back. What time is the game? Says Estelle Vendon. It is at 3 o'clock, so we are 45 minutes away. Just a little chat about Sanchez, Andy. Many of us thought we'd be tuning in today, seeing him making his debut. It sounds like it's very, very, very close. I mean, I've been confident all week. What's been your feelings about this deal in general?
I think it is a massive, massive statement of intent. You know, he's nailed on going to City, and we've swooped in. And of course, they've pulled out for money reasons, obviously. Yeah, everyone believes that. But it is a massive statement of intent, buying one of the best players in the league. And for me, he'll take Lingard's position in that front 4. And I think it's an absolutely brilliant signing for us, because no signing is ever guaranteed, even though he has been brilliant for 3.5 years at Arsenal. But I think he's pretty much nailed on to be a success. And if it is that straight swap for Mkhitaryan, I think, I don't know how Arsenal allowing that to happen. We clearly got the better end of the deal there. Absolutely brilliant deal if it is a straight swap that is being reported.
Yeah, I mean, we'll obviously find out what the sort of the details of the deal are. But I think you've hit the nail on the head there, that he is a fantastic player, a top player, one of the best players in the Premier League, arguably the best. And just in relation to Oliver Lawton, he says, please respond. I love your videos and your channel. Do you think Sanchez will go to Manchester United? I've been very, very confident about this all week because of the information I got last Sunday lunchtime. We did the video last Sunday lunchtime instantly. And as much as some people really don't want it to be right, I've been confident all week that he would come. The only fear I had was the other aspect of the deal, which was this Mkhitaryan thing, which they seem to finally have got over the line. I'm a little bit frustrated that we haven't got him for this game, because knowing what I know, Sanchez could have been signed last Monday if we just paid the 30 million, Andy, but we have brought this Mkhitaryan aspect into the deal, which I think is a shame for United, but obviously it's a shame for Arsenal because they don't have Mkhitaryan in their team today, and we don't have Sanchez in ours.
Yeah, it is very, very frustrating. But like you said on, I think it was the video this morning or the video yesterday, we've got Ed Woodward as our chief executive, and this is the man who allowed Fellaini's release clause to expire. Well, he bought Fellaini in the first place, but he allowed his release clause to expire, and then 4 days later signs him for an extra $4 million. So that is what we're dealing with here with our chief executive. Unfortunately, I thought it was horrific that David Gill and Fergie left at the same time. 2 icons, really. They were brilliant at tying deals up. But it is a real shame, because I thought it was nailed on that he was going to be part of the squad for this game. But now we've got all the time in the world, really, and we just do really need him for Yeovil. I wouldn't have thought so. And then it's all about getting him ready for the Spurs game after that, because that's a massive game.
It's interesting, isn't it? Not a lot. I always, Twitter's my main sort of feed for football news, and I'm just reading through it. And there's a lot of people saying, yesterday, Mourinho says that Luke Shaw's one of the best left backs in the world. Put him in your fantasy football team, and then he picks Ashley Young. I could see it coming a mile off, but people seem to be quite annoyed by it.
Yeah, it is. For me, it is frustrating. But like I said, it was to be expected. So it is what it is, isn't it?
In relation to Burnley, I mean, I looked at their team the other day, and it really does sort of. They are the epitome of a hard-working side with not too many stars in it, which in many ways is more of a danger than going to somewhere, I don't know, a bit like Everton, who you know a lot of their players, but maybe they're not that good. Talking about what Burnley's strong points are is very, very difficult, apart from the fact that they're a very hard team to beat and they're good at home.
Yeah, Sean Dyche, I mean, he squeezes every last ounce of energy out than Burnley players. He really does do a good job, and I think he's quite an underrated manager, to be honest. All the talks about Pep Guardiola and how well he's doing at Man City, but very rarely see Sean Dyche getting any plaudits, and I think he's done brilliant with a very limited budget at Burnley. And like you say, that they are the epitome of a workman-like team. They'll chase everything down, they'll fight until the last minute, and they'll be physical today. They'll be pumping long balls up. I've not seen their team. I'm guessing it might be Sam Vokes up front or Ashley Barnes, someone like that, big physical presence.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if they'll be playing in Kudu today, actually. Signed in from Spurs, haven't they? I haven't seen the Burnley team yet.
I'll get that in a minute. Somebody was saying, read Mourinho's comments on Luke Shaw, because he has made one, and he has. He says, this is a very specific match and one that you need the experience of Young, and he also protects very well in attack. That's a decision you make when you have two players and a good squad. How accurate was I in predicting that then? That the reality is he's just gone with experience, which Mourinho always will.
Yeah, he always will. And that the comment you made earlier about Mourinho's comment saying that there's only going to be 2 transfers in the summer, that is all very well and good. But we heard it a few months ago, didn't we, with Mourinho, about he was asked about the youth, and he was saying, it's my duty to bring through one youth player every season. That's this season is McTominay. So it almost feels like he's forced to bring the youth through. And as we know, Mourinho isn't really a manager that sort of brings through the youth. That is what concerns me a little bit. So like I said, it's all very well and good signing 2 players as long as we bring the youth through. That's the issue for me.
In relation to the Burnley team, if it means anything to anybody, Pope in goal, Bardsley, Tarkowski, me, Taylor back 4, a 5 in the midfield of Arfield, Cork, Hendrick, Defoe and Goodmanson, and up front Barnes, substitutes Loughton and Kodu, Vokes, Westwood, Wells, Lindegaard and Long. Again, it's just not a team that jumps out massively at you, but it is a team that's done very, very well this season. Just going back to what you were saying there, Andy, and Mega 8 999, it says Sanchez isn't in the Arsenal team today. Yeah, I did confirm that right at the start. Not in the team. Left the hotel at 11 o'clock last night. Could be, I've got a funny feeling 8 o'clock tonight, 9 o'clock tonight. Hopefully we'll be going live with him officially announced. I think there will be a statement from the club. It may well be something along the lines of he's signed pending a medical like Lindelof. We got that on a Saturday night at 8:30 back in June. So that could happen again. Or they could just wait till Monday. But in relation to signings, just very quickly, Barcelona have strongly denied any link to Griezmann. We were talking about this on the show this morning. Pick it up later on tonight. Did a transfer show this morning in relation to Mourinho. It's quite shocking for some United fans that he said there'll only be 2 signings in the summer if he signs Sanchez, and many United fans feel it won't be enough. I did say that potentially it is enough if you bring in Fosu Mensah and Pereira back in, but Andy's hit the nail on the head there that Mourinho will always go for experience over youth. He's done it today in the game. Shaw dropped, Young comes in. Young in his early 30s, Shaw in his early 20s, he goes for the player in his early 30s every single time. I love Mourinho, but I did say the very first day we got him, the very first video we did about Mourinho, I listed the positives, but I said, one thing I will say, don't expect the youth to be a priority for Mourinho. It never has been. He might play lip service to it, or he might totally change his mantra because it's Manchester United. But his history and the lists he gets out are built on sand. That he did it on his first press conference, a big list of youth players that he's used, all in League Cup games, mostly for 10 minutes here and there. He is not a man who is even as dedicated as Van Gaal was to it, and he needs to improve on that.
Yeah, for sure. And just going back to that list in his first press conference, I remember that well. So you could tell that he was primed for that question. He was ready and willing to give an answer to that question, and it is a little bit concerning. I'm willing to admit that I was very naive. I thought because Mourinho wanted this job, he's been wanting it for over 10 years, ever since Liverpool snubbed him for Benitez for the Liverpool job. It is a concern, and I was very, very naive. I thought that because he wanted this job so much that he would just change his ways and he'd bring through youth like our club is built on. But he hasn't, and I'm willing to admit I was very naive on that.
I'm a massive Mourinho fan. I'm very aware as the United stand, it is your channel. It's a fantastic community and you have to give both sides. But I did always say that he will pick experience over youth, and you shouldn't be surprised by Luke Shaw being dropped today. I wouldn't even call it a negative. It's just something I was always aware of. I think the only thing I'm negative about Mourinho is his constant use of Fellaini. But I went into this with my eyes wide open, and I still would have took him regardless of what he does with the youth, because I still believe he's the only man who can get United back on track, and the progress he's making is fantastic. And Alexis Sanchez is a massive signing. It is such a statement signing. We should not underestimate it at all. Andrew Kay says, especially if we don't buy a lot in the summer, hoping Jose will bring youth talent, even the likes of Timbo, Axel and Pereira. I think those three players are bang ready. I think most clubs in the Premier League, if they were at Spurs, they'd be playing regularly. Fosu Mensah is an absolute fantastic talent. Twansibi's not far behind him, and Pereira I've liked for a long time. They can be three new signings in the summer. Mourinho's just got to get them into the team. If he's only signing two players, but he's going to bring them three in, they're like three new signings anyway, Andy. I mean, a lot of youth players I think of over the last 20 years, your Kieran Richardsons, even your John O'Shea's, you want them to be successful because they're from the youth, but there's a part, Danny Welbeck, you're also aware that, yeah, on their day they can be quite good, but are they really that good enough? With Twansibi, Fosu Mensah and Pereira, there is no sort of faking it from me. I really believe they are top talents.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm actually quite glad that, because I think Mourinho came out, didn't he, and said that he's not recalling Pereira and he's not recalling Fosu Mensah. I'm glad about that. I just want them to keep playing out there, because they're not going to come back here and get any game time, even in the Cup. And I think Twansibi only getting 90 minutes against Swansea in the League Cup is I think that's a bit of a disgrace. I think he should have a lot more game time.
Villa want him, and I'm in the Midlands, so if he goes there, I will go down and watch a couple of games if he starts playing regularly, because a couple of my mates are Villa fans who I work with, and they've sort of asked me about it, and I've said, you're getting one hell of a player if you get him. He is absolutely fantastic. He should eat up the Championship. So hopefully that will happen, because he's not going to get any game time between now and May.
No, he's not, for sure. I think it's brilliant that Fosu Mensah's getting Premier League experience as well. I watched that game against Man City and it was absolutely phenomenal. Yeah. It really was.
And I think he's starting against Arsenal tonight. Arsenal now at 3 o'clock. If anyone can confirm that would be great. Paul Robinson says those three, Pereira, Twansibi, Fosu Mensah, outstanding, but will they get a game though? Exactly. The eyes are on Mourinho for this, and give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's see what happens next season. Personally, I think he picked the wrong youth player this year, Andy. I think McTominay could end up being a decent player, but it should have been Twansibi.
Yeah, for sure. And it doesn't just have to be one, does it? I'm not really sure why he's made that comment. It doesn't just have to be one at all.
It does sound a bit contractual, doesn't it? You must bring one through. That's stupid. If you've got two or three, play two or three. Yeah,
for sure. And yeah, I do agree with you. I think McTominay is just... He's not the player United fans want to see, is he really? He's tall. He's only in there because he's tall, isn't he? That is just part and parcel of it, isn't it? That is facts. He's only in there because he's tall.
Sean Lee says Fosu Mensah is starting, as does FIFA, which is great, and Mark J as well. Make sure you smash the like button, especially on a game like this. We have a bit of a superstition. 1,000 likes before kickoff means we're going to win. And also remember the link in the video description for the Coral sign-up offer. Sign up, get yourself signed up. It's only available for new sign-ups. If you're with Coral, it's not applicable for you. But over 18, make sure you gamble responsibly. The sign-up offer is you will get, if you put a £1 bet on through the link in the video description for a goal in the Man City Newcastle game, they'll enhance your odds to a massive 50-1. But I have a bet which is £4. Go into the Manchester United versus Burnley game. This is my tip of the day. I think it's the #1 choice. I'll show it in a few minutes' time. But it's Lukaku to have 2 shots, Matic to make 2 tackles, and United to win. It's enhanced to 3-1. I've put £4 on it and you win 15 quid. So it's more than that. It's about 3.5-1 because you almost quadruple your stake. So I've put £1 on the City Newcastle thing, 50-1, and I've also put the remaining £4 on United. Lukaku 2 shots, Matic 2 tackles, and United to win. And that £4 will bring me 15 back. So that's my tip of the day. Or just go for an outright United to win, which I think just about doubles your money. So link in the video description for that. Get on with that. Do you want Ronaldo back, Benjamin? I'm going to ask you that, Andy, just as a random question that jumped up. Would you take Ronaldo back?
Yeah, I'd love him back any day of the week. Because for me, he's like Sanchez in terms of they look after themselves. I don't care that Sanchez is 29. For me, Sanchez he's like a 25 or 26-year-old because he keeps himself in really good physical condition. And Ronaldo, like I said the other day, he's the elite specimen, isn't he, of football. Looks after himself ridiculously well. So yeah, I'd have Ronaldo back any day.
I nearly just had a heart attack. Priest Puncher, I think, said it. Can't believe they've given Fellaini a new contract. I've just ran it through Google and Twitter, and I think he is trolling us. That would be disgrace. The terrible thing is, United would give it him. He doesn't want to sign it. I mean, that's the ridiculous situation of this. I just want him to go. He's such a Jonah.
It's like you said. I think it was a few weeks ago. The most embarrassing thing is if Fellaini does go, which I definitely do want him to go, and I know you do. He's leaving on his own terms. He's bending us over a barrel, isn't he? Really? Saying, I remember his comments a few weeks ago saying, Manchester have offered me a new contract, but things like this don't get sorted in a jiffy or something like that. I'm just thinking, oh my God, this is just embarrassing. Embarrassing enough that he's still at our club, let alone that if he is going to leave, he's going to be leaving on his own terms. It's just unbelievable. It really is.
I tell you what, it may well be. Anything can happen. Anything happening with the De Gea contract and a new contract, says Manix SJ. Thanks for the contribution. Remember, you can contribute through the $sign. Make sure you leave us a question, though, if you do that. I would take Ronaldo as well. Kevin O'Callaghan says it's not a retirement home, but I would. Cyber West says that his wife likes the glasses. Ooh, I shall keep them on if it makes me popular with the ladies. Only joking. But the one thing, I did have this written down, but we're sort of whizzing through a few more relevant topics. But it's funny, isn't it? Rojo on the bench. Lindelof can't make the bench. Bay's obviously injured. And we've ended up, not by default, by ability of both of them, really. Smalling and Jones is our centre-back pairing. It was Sir Alex's vision. I think if we'd said it at the start of the season, people would have been having heart attacks, but it's not. It doesn't even get a mention now. And I'm not Phil Jones' biggest fan because I think he's too injury prone, but he seems to have sorted that out a lot this year. Smalling I've always liked, and I think he's been amazing this year. You would normally talk about Smalling and Jones as a weak spot, and I don't think either played well against Stoke on Monday, but they didn't. They got away with it a little bit. De Gea kept them in it, but they have been very good this season. What's your thoughts on Smalling and Jones? As could they really be long term? I would imagine Bay would come in, but they are the first choice centre backs for United.
Yeah, they've been absolutely brilliant. The one game I remember them having, it was under Van Gaal. They were absolutely. I don't think I've ever seen them play as good as they did. The Juanfield game, I thought they were absolutely brilliant. But under Mourinho, Phil Jones has come on leaps and bounds, hasn't he? Really, Smalling I think has always been quite consistent, especially. I think it was Van Gaal's last season. Smalling played almost every game, and he looked a world beater. And Jose seems to have rediscovered that form in Smalling as well. And Phil Jones, like I say, it's just you never know with Phil Jones, do you? He is a really good defender. And I think I came at the start of the season and said, if we can keep Jones fit, what a defender we've got. And that is the worry. You just never know with Jones, because I think he must be on his best run of games now for us, for United. But Mourinho. But you would expect that from Mourinho, wouldn't you? He does brilliant with centre-backs. He really does, because he builds from the back rather than other managers that just focus on attack, i.e. Klopp and Guardiola. But yeah, I think as long as they keep up this form, they can be our first choice central defenders, because like you've been saying, Bay's starting to be a worry now. He really is, with the injuries that he's picking up. And he seems to be giving Lindelof the Mickey treatment as well, that he was giving Mickey when we first signed him. So... But, I mean, even when Lindelof's come in this season, he's been really good, apart from the mistakes at Huddersfield. So
yeah, I think he's improved massively. I think he's very unlucky not to be part of the... I mean, to be honest with you, I would flip that the other way. I mean, people are unhappy about Luke Shaw, but what can Mourinho do? He said he's one of the best left-backs in the world yesterday, and then he drops him today. It just shows you the... I think in relation to our defence, apart from age, which is obviously against Young and Valencia, and that is a problem we've got to sort out, I don't really feel we need to buy anybody in the back in the defence, because we've got loads of centre-backs. We've got Fosu Mendes to come back who can cover right back for Valencia. We've got Shaw and Young on the left-hand side. You've got De Gea in goal. I actually think we need to trim. I think Darmian and Blind, and obviously Twansibi comes in as well. We've got a more than enough cover. we've got 5 centre-backs, effectively. Rojo, Lindelof, Bailly, Jones, Smalling, Twansibi, Fosu Mensah, Valencia, Young, Shaw. I think at the back, I don't think Mourinho's been treating anybody badly. I think he just literally has got loads of options at United at the moment. And maybe that's why he's only going to sign 2 players, because we don't really need to improve at the back.
Yeah, for sure. And again, it's just a testament to Mourinho, isn't it? He always builds teams from the back, and I like that. I like a manager who builds teams from the back. And we've got 6 centre backs if Twansibi comes back in. I think the left back issue, like I said at the start of the show, I think that's sort of a long term issue. I don't necessarily think we need a midfielder to start with to come in before a left back. And the Valencia problem, I think Fosu Mensah, if he starts playing next season, he can make that his own. And maybe he can be the right back that starts in the league, and maybe Valencia just gradually fades out of the picture. Which that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping Fosu Mensah becomes our right back, because I think he's absolutely brilliant.
Well, Bailey's just said in the live comments that Valencia is one of the best right backs in the world. We talked about it in the week. What would be a Premier League 11 to play a La Liga 11. And I think, United fans are obviously going to be biased, but there can only be really one competitor for Valencia in that right-back position, and that's Kyle Walker. And I would take Valencia because he's far more intelligent. Mike Thomas has made a contribution. I'm going to ask you this one, Andy. It's quite a difficult one, really. He says, what would your lineup have been today if Sanchez had been in the team? What's your score prediction, which we've both gone 2-1, and he says, great show as always, maybe Skype in later. Yes, remember, after the game today, I'll do my match reaction for about 5 minutes, then we'll open up the calls for about an hour. We did it after did we do it against Stoke on Monday? I can't remember, it's been such a long week. But we will open up Skype after the match for between 5 and 6. So it's a new thing we're doing on the United Stand. We've done it a couple of times before, and I think it's more built for the, I hate to say it, the bad results, but a lot of people might want to phone in about Sanchez and stuff. But if Sanchez had been part of today, I've got a vision as to where I would have played him, but I'm not going to say, because I've got a video planned for when he signs as to where he should say. But you can answer it, Andy. Where would you have played him today, or would you have had him on the bench?
I'd have played him in Lingard's position, 100%. I'm not sure is it Lingard playing centrally today and Mata on the right?
It normally is, yeah.
Yeah, but I'd play Mata at number 10 and Sanchez out on the right, Martial on the left, Lukaku up top, and then everyone else the same. That'd be mine. Yeah.
No comment, because I've got a video planned, but I can see the logic behind that. Some people still annoyed by Mourinho. Look, if he's annoying you, he's probably doing something right when we're a winning team and we're about to bite Sanchez. I think, United fans are hungry and we're impatient and we always want better, and there's nothing wrong with being like that. Lukaku out, Sanchez in, says Matt Grease. Mata on the right, says TC Singh. Valencia should put crosses in. And United. L Doctor says, yeah, Sanchez on the right. A few people saying that. And David Burstwhistle, Chelsea have won 4-0 and it flattered them, but it's still good. 4 goals away from home against Brighton boosts their goal difference. Are you concerned about that? I mean, I've seen a lot of people, Andy, and a lot of people in the live comments they argue about this, and I think it's a really good one. After 23 games, we were 12 points behind Newcastle and we won the title. After 23 games, we're 12 points behind City and people are talking about the title. But for me, that went in December when we didn't turn up against Old Trafford and gave them 3 points. For me, the biggest battle is the one behind us. Chelsea, Liverpool are 3 points behind us. Well, Chelsea are level now. That's the top 4 positions gone. Us, City, Chelsea, Liverpool. But Spurs are coming through like a train. We play them in 2 weeks. Arsenal probably are out a bit, but 5 clubs going for 4 positions. And, Spurs and Liverpool are in great form. Chelsea seem to have recaptured their form. I know people are talking about the title, and I'm open to the title, but ultimately we need to win games because of what's behind us, and if that closes the gap ahead of us, that's a bonus. But for me, it is about this battle behind us, because I think slip up today and we are in a bit of trouble.
Oh yeah, for sure, especially with Chelsea being level on points with us now. But to be honest, I'm more concerned about Liverpool and Spurs than Chelsea, because I think Chelsea are going through their sort of second season syndrome with their manager. You saw it with Ancelotti, saw it with Mourinho twice. I don't know what it is. Players just seem to down tools for Chelsea's managers in their second season. It's strange, but yeah, I mean, Liverpool I expect them to beat Swansea on Monday night. I'd expect Tottenham to win away at Southampton tomorrow. So, because even if we get top four, I don't want us to finish fourth because I don't want this stupid Champions League qualifier. I want us to finish second and really build on what we achieved last season. So, yeah, I'm not really that worried about Chelsea. It's more Liverpool and Spurs.
It would be a shame as well because we have been pretty much second from the opening day, and that's why it's a long season. But I wouldn't like us to drop to fourth, even though it would be technically an improvement on sixth last year. We've got to get Champions League football, and I think we're almost. I think I look at the last few years, and we've been around this time going, oh God, we've got to get Champions League football, and sometimes we've got it, and sometimes we haven't. I think this season there's not really that discussion about us not getting it. We're almost getting into that position we need to be in as United, where we're assuming we're going to get it every year, and there's nothing wrong with that. But we're only a bad result away from really starting to think, are we going to get it? And that's why we've got to win today, and that's really why I'm very, very excited about it. But we should have no illusions. It is we are potentially in quite a big battle, and which is why Sanchez, he should get 10 goals between now and the end of the season, and that makes us a far better team. It annoys me, Chelsea, though, because I think the top four probably should be on form. City, United, Liverpool and Spurs at the end of the season, and maybe it will end that way, but I just think Chelsea, Stamford Bridge was just a bloody disaster by us. We had a really good 20 minutes, we didn't get the goal, and then they get back in and beat us, and I think that is a game that will haunt us, but we're going to have to beat them at Old Trafford, and that will put us 3 points ahead of them, but we got to win today. Some people just said there, I think everyone's been very, very optimistic. Burnley are a good side. A point wouldn't be a bad result today. I suppose on reflection, it may not be. We'd still be ahead of Chelsea and that. And I think it'd be very unfair to have a meltdown against United if they played well and it was a draw today, because Burnley are no slouches. But somebody also did just say, sorry for not saying the names because I've forgotten, Manchester United's big problem is the 6 points we dropped. Was it 6? Yeah, the 6 points we dropped against Burnley, against Southampton, against Leicester over Christmas. That was at least another 6 points we should have had.
My God, that was so frustrating. I remember watching that Leicester game. It's unbelievable. It was just schoolboy from an attacking sense. It's absolutely unbelievable. Burnley game, I think we probably deserved to lose that, to be honest. And the Southampton game, that was abysmal as well. So, yeah, that 6 points, really, really frustrating over that Christmas period. But
I think the Burnley game, just to hop in there, I think the Burnley game was a point saved. I watched it last night on MUTV. It wasn't the full game. It was like extended highlights. And I didn't realise, because I'd been out on Boxing Day lunch for family things and had a few drinks, and we didn't do a watch-along that day, so I was just sort of watching the game, drinking more and more, and I think I'd just sort of forgotten how late the equaliser was. There was literally no time to win it. It was like, I think it was a minute into stoppage time, and it was 2 great goals by Lingard, so that was probably a point game because we were rubbish in that one. But Southampton was disappointing, and Leicester, as we know, was the last shocking defending. But we're in the position we're in. We're still in a strong position, and it's ours to do. Yeah,
exactly. We just got to maintain our grip on that second spot, because we've been there pretty much all season. It'd be a real shame if a team like Liverpool, especially because we hate them, were to pip us to that. But again, Liverpool, they're just massively inconsistent. They beat Man City. I'd expect them to beat Swansea on Monday night, but knowing Liverpool, they'll probably go and lose. So that's just the type of team they are. So, yeah.
I'm just going to quickly do the odds thing again because a few people are asking. So the link in the video description is there. It's for people who are new to Coral. Sign up through the link in the video description. You can still do the bet I'm about to mention, but there's a new sign-up offer. It's not for the United game because they wouldn't give us great odds on that, but it's a new sign-up offer, Man City versus Newcastle, for a goal to be scored in that game. £1 bet, 50 to 1 odds. That's if you use the link in the video description. And if I click on, we don't want to go to there, we want to go to there. Right, okay, so once you've signed up, go to the Coral page, go to football. You've still got plenty of time to do this, still got 20 minutes to do it. This is the tip of today, and let me get myself up. Burnley, Manchester United, that is the game. Yeah, so Burnley, Manchester United. This is the one I've gone for. This is my tip of the day for you. So get on it and join in the fun during the game, because there's a few things you'll have to write down. So I've gone Romelu Lukaku to have 2 shots, Nemanja Matic to win 2 tackles, and Manchester United to win, which is 14 to 5, which is almost 3 to 1. So if you put £4 on, you'll get about 15 quid back. That's what I've done. put the pound on the City, and then the £4 on United. So that's my tip of the day. I think it's a really good odds one. If you want to feel a little bit more conservative, just go for Manchester United to win the game outright, which is 16-5, which is basically a double your money. A fiver would get you about a tenner back. Link in the video description. Go through the sign-up offer there. Put the pound on the City Newcastle game for a goal to be in it. You'll get 50-1, which is most of it's back in free bets, but that doesn't matter because we'll give you some tips. And then put your remaining £4 on Romelu Lukaku to have 2 shots, Matic to win 2 tackles, and United to win, which is, like I say, £4 got me back £15 if it comes in. And I would expect Lukaku to have 2 shots. They don't have to go in. That would have been the killer. They don't have to go in. They just have to be shots. You'd expect Matic to make 2 tackles, and United need to win it. So that was the most valuable one, and that's my tip of the day. Link in the video description. Sign yourself up, and it's something to keep an eye on during the watch along. Remember, you've got to be over 18 and do gamble responsibly. Hence, I'm only betting £4 on it. Medical today, says Alan Osborne. We're parking Sanchez for a bit. I think that's the right thing to do, Andy. We should park Sanchez for a little bit because regardless of whether Sanchez signs or not, which he definitely will, we've just got to win this game today. This is what it's all about. It doesn't matter what players you sign. It will always... this is a bit of an inaccurate thing to say, but what really matters is what's happening at 4:45 on a Saturday afternoon when it's a 3 o'clock kickoff. And for all the players we're going to buy, we've got to win games. And hopefully the players will be inspired by the fact that we're about to buy Sanchez, because there is a bit of uncertainty about where he will play. So players should be playing for positions, whether it's Mata, Martial, Lingard, or even Lukaku, because he can play up front.
Yeah, that's why I'm so excited about Sanchez, because he can play anywhere across the front four. And Mourinho will have told him that. He'll say, look, Chelsea have won, so that's even more inspiration for the players if they needed it, that they need to go out and impose ourselves on Burnley and get a really good result at 3 points.
Yep. Just having a quick look. I've got messages coming all around. I've got Flex at the ground sending me a message. Let me think of a question I can ask you, Andy, just to fill a bit of time. In relation to, I was asked this question yesterday, so I'd like to get your answer on it. In relation to Lukaku, can you see him at the club in 2 years' time? If yes, why? If no, why no?
Yeah.
Running the line as our number 9. Yeah,
for sure. I think the criticism he gets is unfair because of all the work he does off the ball that creates the space for likes of Martial, Lingard and Juan Mata. I think he has been really good for us, Lukaku. The thing is, well, the noise is, isn't it, that Mourinho is going to sign a new contract, which I don't personally like Mourinho, but I think it is good that he's extending his contract. I think he's the right man for us. And he's his signing, isn't he? So I think, yeah, as long as Mourinho stays, Lukaku is going to be leading the line, because we know how much Jose loves Lukaku, saying that, he's immune from criticism and comments like that. So, but I'm really chuffed that we bought Lukaku. I think he's doing a really good job.
Andy, thanks for coming on and discussing the team news and everything for us. Apparently, DiMarzio is saying that Sanchez has completed his medical.
Brilliant.
Yeah, look, we're already live. I wouldn't go live off that anyway. We went live last Sunday saying he's going to sign, and it's just a matter of time, really. The biggest obstacle was getting Arsenal to sort out whatever they were doing with Mkhitaryan. Just very quickly, Andy, what I didn't ask you this, and it's probably one of the most obvious questions to ask you and the guests who phone in after the match. Thoughts on Mkhitaryan? His time here? Do you feel sorry for him? Is it the right decision to let him go as part of this deal?
I do feel sorry for him a bit, yeah, because I was really hoping that he would turn it around, but he's been given too many chances now, hasn't he? I think his career at Man United is finished, and it really is. It is quite sad, because the reports that he was crying as he left Carrington. He doesn't want to go to Arsenal, does he? But he's sort of being forced out. But I think it is the right decision. I think his career at United is finished. It is a real shame. And this you could probably class as Jose's first sort of flop signing at Man United. We all knew he was going to sign at least one flop, because that's just how it works. So it's on Mourinho's watch as well. But yeah, I wouldn't criticise Mourinho for it, because he's absolutely brilliant at Dortmund.
Andy, thanks for coming on. Do you have a Twitter or anything you want to shout out for?
No, I don't go on Twitter. No.
Probably quite wise. Thanks for calling in, pal. And obviously, I know you will be on again, but I really appreciate that.
Yeah, no problems. Thanks, Mark.
Cheers, pal. Speak to you soon.
Cheers.
Ta-da. Let us know, everybody, where you are watching from. Thanks to Andy for coming on. But yes, let us know where you're calling. Well, not where you're calling from. You can maybe calling later after the game. We will open up Skype after the match, and you can have all your say for the hour after the game on the United Stand. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right hand corner, little hologram there. Click it, subscribe, and get your bell on, because we're a live content channel. And when Sanchez signs, we'll go live. And if you want to watch that live reaction, because it will go off, you'll get the source, and you'll get a lot more than that. I've got a few things lined up that I really want to let rip on when Sanchez signs. Been holding it in for a while now. Click your bell, turn all notifications on, and then you'll get notified every time the United Stand goes live. We're live every night at 8 o'clock. We've got fan cams on the channel later on. Flex is at the ground. 8 o'clock Sunday night as well. We've got Transfer Daily every morning at 7 AM, Monday to Friday, although I did do one this morning, and I have got one planned tomorrow, so there will be one going up at about 10 o'clock tomorrow as well. So lots going on, and we're nothing without you. Somebody said to me before that there's somebody taking a pop at the United Stand on Facebook. Look, let them do it. If we're not being spoken about, we're doing something wrong. The strength of the United Stand is not me, it's not the United Stand name, it is all you lot. We always have the live comments, we always have the call-ins. It's a fantastic community. It's been a fantastic community from 100 subscribers, and it's an even stronger one now. We're at 180. Hopefully we'll be at 200,000 subscribers soon. I've always said it from day one, if somebody's been here from day one, that this channel is your channel. It's a community. We're all in it together. We do disagree, but it's never abusive. And, you know, just stick together. That's what the United Stand community is all about. And people are throwing stones at us because they're intimidated. They're scared. You know, even bloody DT's been having a go this week because he's scared. It's a big community, the United Stand community, and we're all driven by the same thing. We are passionate about this great, great club. Talking of which, the anniversary of Sir Matt Busby's death today, we've put a few tweets out, but I did want to just take a couple of minutes to talk about him. We've got the 60th anniversary of the Busby Babes coming up in February. We've got things planned for that. But if there's, you know, people talk about Sir Bobby Charlton being Mr. Manchester United, and he certainly is. But if it wasn't for Sir Matt Busby, then Manchester United would not be the club it is today. We wouldn't have had the Busby Babes without him. He created it, and then he lost it in tragic circumstances. He then created the Holy Trinity of Law, Charlton and Best. The resurrection, the 68 European Cup. And then, you know, Team Ferguson. People like Sir Alex Ferguson wouldn't have existed if it wasn't for people like Sir Matt Busby. The class of '92, what Manchester United are now, would not be here. He set the foundations that this club is built upon and will never ever be forgotten. And that is why Manchester United are the greatest football story ever told. They're the greatest sports story ever told. Because like a great story, there is tragedy, there is resurrection, there is success, there are bad times, and that is what makes a football club. It is not all about chucking a load of money at it like Chelsea or City have and trying to buy success. It's not about that. It's about the pure fabric of the club, what it's been through. You can't recreate that. You cannot recreate it. And what we have at this club is very, very special. And it was certainly put in place by that great man, Sir Matt Busby. So just wanted to have a couple of words about him. I'm watching from the Philippines. Shout out to you, Mark. Always love your channel. Much love, says JD Season. Well, it's your channel. Yeah, lots of people on about Matt Busby. I love this club. I love this club. It's got so much to it. You could spend a week just looking at stuff from the 50s, the 60s. You know, there's so much to this club that there's never a downtime. There's never a time where you can't pick up a book about something that you didn't know about certain players from a certain era. It is such a rich tapestry of a club, the best club, the greatest club in the world, and we're very, very privileged to support it. And you know, we're very, very privileged to have a community like that we have all around the world. Hello from Australia, says Fernando. Everything United's in Slovenia. Essex UK, says Shiva. Connor Casey says Malahide. And Jack Boy says we've got the best community out of every fan channel. That is the strength of the United Stand. It is all you lot. You know, we do put the live streams up an hour before we go live, and I often dip into the live chats and see you all having a chat, the early squad. So global as well. It is truly humbling, and we're very, very strong. It's Danny Blob says he was one of the first 10 viewers of the very first video. We've hit 1,000 subscribers as well, and we are 9 minutes off kickoff, which is getting very, very close. Getting very, very close indeed. I should use the glasses to create an alter ego, says Christopher Morton. I use the glasses to help me see better, but they also make me feel a little bit more intelligent. They don't really. They don't really. Thanks to Snaps, who is our latest moderator, and he's the only moderator I've seen today, actually. I think we'll be looking for a few more. There are a few changes going on at the United Stand, and a lot of those changes come through the community, the people being involved, and coming through Skype, like Andy was on today for the team news. So we're always evolving. There's always things going on with the channel. So keep getting involved, keep spreading the word, and remember to subscribe. We're nearly at 180,500, bottom right-hand corner. Do that. Does anyone know where I can find decent footage of Duncan Edwards? Says I Am God. There are little bits about there, but actually if you're based in the UK, you can get yourself down to Dudley. They've got an exhibition in relation to Duncan Edwards, because that was where he was born at the moment, and that's where his grave is as well, which I've visited a couple of times. But I've not got up to the exhibition yet, but I really want to get over there in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, they've got all sorts going on in relation to this to the anniversary of Munich, which obviously is going to be a difficult time for United fans. You know, it's always a difficult time, start of February. Copenhagen, Denmark. Perclus, Barbados is with the United Stand, says no more. And soon be time to kick my sister off the TV, said somebody there. Pankaj says we never answer your calls. We do get a lot of calls, mate. It's not, we don't ignore people. Literally, sometimes you just click anything, and some people get on, some people don't. But don't stop trying. Everybody is welcome, which is much like Manchester United. Anyway, we've got a football game, and we're surely going to win it. We're surely going to win it. Hopefully, we will win it. Give me 10 seconds, and I'll be back. See you in a bit. Hello, I'm back. 10 seconds are over. Okay. I'm on my own today because Marcus isn't well, and hopefully he'll be back soon. So I do have to get it. I have to do it on my own. But having said that, I just use you lot. That's what you do, isn't it? So let's have a look. How far off kickoff? 6 minutes. I do like the Saturday afternoon kickoff. Somebody just said there, do you hate it because you live in the UK and it makes it obviously they don't put it on the telly in the UK, but I do like 3 o'clocks because it reminds me of my youth, you know, teletext, having loads of games up. But then, obviously, I think it's a bloody disgrace that United fans only probably, how many people will get into the game? 5,000 at Burnley? And how many fans have we got in the UK who are not able to watch it? They need to make a change so that United fans can pay to watch every game of the season if they want to. It's a really archaic system, and the reason they won't let it happen is because they're terrified of how much more money Manchester United will bring in because their fans want to pay to watch their games. It's ridiculous in this modern age because there'll be so many TV crews at the Burnley game at Turf 4 showing this game today, and in the UK they don't put it on the telly. There should be some sort of firewall Manchester United channel where you can get the game, and whether that's ever going to happen or not, I don't know. But it really is quite stupid. Okay. My lighting's a bit rubbish. It's because it's getting darker, you see. It's getting darker. Right.
Robbie will be Burnley against Manchester United. Alexis Sanchez not there yet, but looking like he's going to...
Left side of forwards is preferred position, I think. That's Anthony Martial. That's doing really well, and a player that I really admire. And Rashford have both been kind of competing for that spot. So do one of those go to the other side, which is Juan Mata's position. So Juan Mata's probably the player who's going to miss out, Rebecca, but I think he's important.
I should be... What's going on? Hi Mark, I'm feeling confident about today. We always win when we need to win. United we trust, says Jack Webb. Audio. Can everyone hear me now? Can everyone hear me now? Can everyone hear me now? Let me know. Link in the video description. You've still got time. Link in the video description. Get yourself signed up for the Coral offer. Lukaku to have 2 shots on goal, Matic to make 2 tackles, and United to win is the bet I've gone with. But if you use the link in the video description, if you are having a bet this weekend, make sure you're over 18, gamble responsibly, and they've got a 50-1 sign up if there's a goal in the Manchester City versus Newcastle game. So that's on you lot to get involved. Audio is good, which is great. Fantastical, good. All right, that's fantastic as well. You don't win friends with salad. You don't win friends with salad, that's right. Ooh. Let me pull you in there, and I want my live comments there, and I want that there. Okay, we're all set. We're not all set. We're not all set because I just remembered something else I've not done. You bloody plonker. I've not got the timer, which is essential. We will be live after the game. Sorry, we'll be live through the game, but we'll be live after the game with a Skype show for you lot to all call into. So do get involved in that. Refresh that. Oh, it's all going on. It's all going on. Apologies. I'd normally have Mad Marcus with me, but he ain't today. So that is what it is. Let me get to you lot. Mark, what's your opinion about the Zlatan situation? I think it's an interesting situation with Zlatan. I personally feel that he may be finished, and I don't know what everybody else thinks. I don't think he can get back from his injury. I think that's a shame, but it was worth the risk. And that's pretty much where I am at with that. I do wish him all the best, but I just don't think it's. I don't think he'll be back. And also, I've got to be honest with you. I think the sort of the injury is such a bad one that it was always going to be difficult for him to come back from. So yeah, very, very difficult. Sanchez probably is going to wear the number 7 shirt. Yes, I'd agree. Haydar Hammond's made a contribution. He says, shout out to Tam and Robbie and H in Australia. It's 2 a.m. United 3-1. Prediction for today's game, says John Drinkwater. I would go 2-1 to United. Mukti says, I think he's finished. And I hope Lingard or Pogba score and they do their new handshake. Well, just for those who are interested, obviously it's a little bit late to get your bet on now, but I put £4 on United to win, Lukaku to have 2 shots and Matic to make 2 tackles. So if people can keep an eye out for that, that would be very, very interesting. Is this Mata's last start, says David Garron. Well, we'll have to wait and see, won't we? We'll have to wait and see. And who should get the number 7 shirt, Mark? I want an answer, says Israst Jahan. And Mark, have you thought about making a United Stand footy team like Arsenal Fan TV and you being the manager, says Andre Gordon. Yeah, we have, and to be honest with you, I would probably start. I'm still good enough, but it's sorting it out. It's having the time to do it. Everybody let us know when it's kickoff. I don't know why the time has started. That's a mistake. It's very foggy in Burnley. There we go. So we've got the kickoff. And thanks for that, Risky. Keep us all updated with what's going on. Obviously, there's a lot of people who can't watch the game in the UK because they don't scream it, which is ridiculous, as we've all discussed. But a must-win game for United. I'll be keeping an idea about all the other goals as well. Michael Collins says kickoff. Caleb Van Buren kickoff. Brevy boys so disappointed in our fans. I don't know why. Gavin Naughty joined the fan league. We're not in control of who gets the invitations, mate, but I'll definitely chase it up for you. Going to be a tough game for this for United today. I'm counting this time for Manchester United 4-0, thankfully, and the time is wrong. We're 1 minute slow, apparently. Oh well, at least it's running. At least people know. Mike Dean is the referee, says Anis. Mark, do you think Lingard is massively underrated, says Nathan Burke. I think Lingard's got an interesting few games ahead of him. I think he's had a really good season. Well, no, he hasn't had a really good season. He's had a decent start, decent middle season, and he's now got till the end of the season to turn it all around. Not turn it all around, be consistent. I mean, he got us the point. He got us the point against Burnley in the league game on Boxing Day, and he needs to continue that form, obviously. Cantonar's collar says we've started well and Lingard is looking sharp. Who's my favourite United player, Skills Hub? 100%. There is only one. There can be only one. And his name is Anthony Martial. He is my man. He's the one I go for. He's the one I like. If you know what I mean. Hello Mark, says the ultimate jokester. Hello pal, how are you doing? Goal Sanchez from the hotel. What time do I think Alexis Sanchez will sign? I would go with, I think it'll be some point tonight at about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Or they might wait till Monday. You know, there's not necessarily a massive rush for United to do that. We're in the grey kit. I nearly said the gay kit. The grey kit, Polish wonder. Yeah, I don't think we've got great success in the grey kit, but hopefully today we will. Because we need to win. We need to win. Chelsea have obviously gone and won, which is good for them, and puts us a little bit on the back foot in a tough game. We need to win. We need to win, but 100%. Where are you? Goldie's Red and White Army, says Estelle Vendôme. Burnley close then, says Peter Doyle. Samuel Salin, have you heard some people saying that Arsenal are getting the better deal with Mkhitaryan and Sanchez? Let them have it. Let them have whatever sort of twist they want to have on it. The reality is we all know 100%, don't we, that we've got the better deal. 100%. There's no messing around with it. We've got the better deal. And it's ridiculously foggy, said Jay, in Burnley at the moment, which I think it is. David likes the glasses. See, David's got some sense. Right. So, quite an equal start in relation to United at the moment. I don't know what I've just done there. Sorry, everybody, I'm messing around with things. Arsenal 2-0 up, says Jake Bullman. Oh dear. Fosu Mensah's obviously not doing his job. Arsenal are on the way up now. They don't need Sanchez and all that jazz. Daniel, I'm not normally this quiet. No, it's snowing here. It's snowing here in the Midlands. Do you think that City will slip up, says Ewan? Not when they've got a game like they've got at 5:30 today against Newcastle. Remember, if you fancy putting a bet on that, we've got a lovely sign-up offer with you through Coral, 50-1 for there to be a goal in the Newcastle City game, which obviously there will be. You can sign up for that link in the video description. I've not seen Matic. Has anyone seen Matic make any tackles yet? Or Lukaku have a shot on goal? Because that's my bet today. I've got United to win, Lukaku to have 2 shots, and Matic to make 2 tackles. Which I think they might have conned me a little bit with that. Because I would expect Lukaku to have a couple of shots. And surely Matic would make a couple of tackles. Philip Thomas says I don't look good. Unfortunately, Philip, it's a bit like somebody if they've got a scar on their face and they're born with it. I can't do anything about my eyes, and my eyes are very tired today, and I have to wear glasses. So stop being glassicist and listen. It's not snowing in the East Midlands, says Pineapple Joe. Where are you, Pineapple Joe? I'm from the East Midlands. Ref is a... Oh, Kwame. Being a bit rude about the ref. But it is Mike Dean. So Palace are 2-0 down to Arsenal at the moment. Michael Caine's doing the watch along, says Daniel Gibbs. She was only 16 years old. Chelsea were 2-0 up in 6 minutes this afternoon at lunchtime as well against Brighton. So Arsenal just replicating that at the moment. Lynn Hall says not a great start for United, and we need Rashford's delivery from corners, says Ronald Atton. We really don't. We really don't. His corners are rubbish. I was watching the Burnley fixture last night on MUTV, and the corners he was putting in, and normally puts in as well, atrocious. No snow in Nottingham, says Cameron McGrath. Nottingham, that's the birthplace of, I nearly said Christ, Goldbridge. Oh, there's always one, isn't there? There's always one. Daniel says I look sophisticated in my glasses, so maybe I should wear them more, because then we might get a little bit more credibility. Luke Horton's from Nottingham in the East Midlands as well. And Landon Potter says he's feeling nervous about this already. Well, the reality is I do think United will win this game, but we should never ever have taken it for granted in any way, shape or form. Manchester City, Burnley, very difficult to beat, and it's 3-0 to Arsenal. Oh my God. I'm going to have to tweet something about that. Oh, I need to put the scores on as well. Yes, I do. I also need to Young is not overlapping, says John Sharrell. Martial will score first. There's a little bit of a dink over the top for Pogba there, and he's through him on goal, but he can't quite control it. The ball's quite high. I'm still with you. I'm just going to turn the light on because I'm starting to get a little bit of dark fade on my right side of my face. So let me just change that. How does that look? That's far better. So not such a good game for Fosu Mensah at the back today. I don't know whether he's been at fault for any of the goals, but they are 3-0 down to Arsenal after 15 minutes. And United starting to spring into this game a little bit, catching Burnley more and more on the break. I mean, that's the good thing about it being at Burnley, is that they do have a home crowd that will be pumped for this. It's United, and they won't just sit back. So that does allow United, with all the pace we have with Pogba and Martial and Lukaku and Lingard, to sort of get at them a bit. And a little bit end-to-end at the moment. Fresh King SG says Mark is going to be attracting all the women with these glasses on. Kieran Masson says, Mark, why are you wearing glasses? I'll give you two guesses. You should get it in one. Burnley moving the ball faster than us, and Fosu Mensah was at fault for the third one, says Jake Bullman. And this is why he's on loan, though. I'd rather he was making mistakes in the Crystal Palace first team than in the United one. He needs to learn. He was at fault for goal 1 as well, says Shahar. So he's at fault for 2. Shaw is missing. Christopher Green dropped for Ashley Young. From one of the best left backs in the world yesterday. That's what Mourinho said, to being dropped for Ashley Young. Great atmosphere, says Lynn Hall. It's quite a local game, isn't it? Burnley, Manchester. And this will be their biggest game of the season, Burnley. I remember when they beat us a few years ago. I forget the name of the striker. It was 1-0. Sir Alex was in charge. Tempted to say Burn, but I don't think it was. But they beat us 1-0. And anything can happen in a game like this. It's snowing in Ashby de la Zouche, says JB FIFA 18. And it's not snowing in Dudley, says Mark Robinson. Robski, I'm not even going to read it out. I read it. I didn't watch it, but I know who you're on about. Change the grey kit at half time, says Firefire999. And predictions of the score, says Nicholas. I'm 2-1 for Manchester United for me. And Quezzy Brown says Shaw's playing rubbish and the team's more used to... Young's playing rubbish. And the team aren't used to him at left back. Well, I would have played Shaw, but I think I can understand why he's picked Young, because Young didn't really do anything wrong before. Robbie Blake, says Wayne Fielder. Thanks for that. I see I was close. I knew it was a one-syllable word starting with B. I said Burn. 2009, Ollie Wakefield. Robbie Blake goal. I think it was a midweek game, I seem to remember as well. Daniel Dagar says, I'm probably the only Australian watching. It's 2 AM here. I mean, out of interest, are you allowed to watch it in Australia? Do they actually show it properly, or do you have to use streams and stuff like that? Because I know in America you can, and I think even in Ireland you can. But I just find it bloody ridiculous that Manchester United fans cannot watch their team play. Ridiculous. Marcus won't come on today. I think he said he might be back next week. Let me think. Okay. DVD Gaming HD's watching in Melbourne, and Fellaini to come on and get the winner, says Callum Overton. And I think Pogba's getting a couple of shots on goal. Jake Bullman says he's in Ireland and he can't watch. You normally can watch in Ireland because my best mate lives in Ireland and he's always able to watch it on Setanta or something like that. But United have a corner. Everything all right with Marcus, says Polish Wonder. Nothing happens with the corner. It's 4:20 AM in Australia, in New Zealand, says Harry Sullivan. NBC have it in America, says Mika. Arsenal Palace is the Irish game today, says Aidan. What? Arsenal don't even have much support in Ireland. You've always got to put United or Liverpool on in Ireland, and then if they're not on, put somebody else on. Optus Sport in Australia, says Aryan. And Pravan says we're playing boring. Ray Joshu says he's the only Indonesian here. He won't be. We do normally get quite a lot of Indonesians watching on the Watchalongs. We have it in Singapore, says Sia. And Burnley's controlling the game, says Ayabullah. I don't know about that. I think United are sort of looking to hit on the break. Carol O'Mahony says, hi Mark, love the United stand. Any news? Well, we're just waiting on Alexis Sanchez now. I mean, I think most United standers who've been watching this week, if they believe anything that comes out of my mouth, would have been feeling pretty relaxed all week, like me, knowing that he was coming at some point. We're very, very close to it now. They're talking medicals and all sorts. I just think with Arsenal and United both playing today, they were never going to announce it before kickoff. But hopefully, it has happened with Lindelof. Hopefully, it could happen. A nice little run by Martial, and Mike Dean actually gives us a foul. I don't know whether people noticed that Martial doesn't get many fouls given against him, but he did get a foul there. Oh, the lighting's looking very good now. It was very dark before. Right, let me get onto Twitter. I think we do. I do think we are missing Luke Shaw though today. I know a lot of people have said that, but I do think we are. What would Sanchez bring to the team? What I've heard a few people say it, but we all know about Alexis Sanchez. He is quick, he is skillful, he does commit players. People drop off him, and I think if you can get him and Martial in the same team, it will make us a far, far better attacking side. And I think that's where United have struggled a bit recently, is we don't create enough chances. And I think with Sanchez in the team, Martial in the team, it just makes us more of a... Because when Martial gets the ball, he gets 3 or 4 players around him. But if you've got Sanchez in the same team as well, they can't commit 3 or 4 players to Martial because you just switch it quickly to Sanchez. So it will give us far more options. Whereas I think at the moment, everybody knows that Martial and Pogba are pretty much United's driving force. Pogba's had a few shots. Don't think have we had any tackles from Matic yet? Has anyone noticed any tackles from Matic or Lukaku? Shots. I don't think Lukaku's had a shot, but I don't know about Matic tackles. It's quite an end-to-end game. It's just a typical battle game. I think anybody who thought this was going to be, easy on the eye, you're wrong. Brandon on the green. I like that one. Proclaimers. All our banter to Arsenal is backfiring apparently. I don't think so. I don't think Arsenal can even... I don't think Arsenal are 4-0 up in 21 minutes. And West Brom are ahead. Arsenal can't... Arsenal are 11 points behind us. They're not catching us. They're not catching us. I'm sure I'm glad I didn't put Fosu Mensah in the team. In the... Scott Aiken is from Gibraltar. Ibrahimovic, Lukaku, thoughts on Australian football? Are you talking about real football or are you talking about Australian rules football? To be honest, very little thought on either. Lynn Hall says very disjointed performance so far. Burnley looks like a Lowry painting, says Estelle Vendrone. Yeah, I know what you mean. Apparently there's a private jet on standby for Sanchez and Mkhitaryan, says Kieran Masson. Could be tomorrow. Could be tomorrow. Brevy Boy says we look crap. I mean, to be honest, we weren't fantastic against Stoke the other night when we won 3-0. Stoke did have chances. And our form hasn't... I don't really remember a performance from us recently that's, got anybody on the edge of the seat. We've been quite good at getting results, but we've not been free-flowing. I was hoping that would happen because Pogba played really well on Monday night. Man United Max says, are we on the front foot or are we just sitting back? I think it's quite an end-to-end game without quality in it, if that makes sense. There's not really been any clear-cut chances. And Dutton says, I think it will be announced tonight. I've got a funny feeling because Lindelof was announced at about 9:15 on a Saturday night. I've got a funny feeling that might be the way United go with this, because it's in our interests to get it done sooner rather than later. Build up slow, play slow, says Nigel Reed. Nothing new there. And we are the least creative team in the top 6, says John Sherrell. Well, I think that does come down to Mourinho. He's up against Klopp, Pochettino, Pep, Conte to a lesser extent. But these are managers who really look to move the ball quick. They love to play on the break. They like to play on the break football, which is why they struggle when teams park the bus against them. United are far more methodical under Mourinho. But it has been very effective. It has been effective at times. Ollie Wakefield says, if we win, announcement tomorrow. If we lose, announcement tonight. Callum Hack, long ball after long ball. And Sergio Perez is watching from Portugal. And Young is not making Nadim very happy at all. Mata's too soft, says Clint Webber. I think Mata coming into the first team so consistently is a bit of a surprise in itself, because he wasn't always getting picked, and suddenly he is. Dumb and dumber in defence, says Nadim. And Ronald, I agree with you. For now, results are more important than style. And Richard O'Sullivan says, Burnley pressuring well, late goals, I reckon. Yeah, look, they are the home team, Burnley. They are going to put a lot of effort in the first half. We know what United can be like in the second half, and we may need to just sort of hang on in there and kill them off in the second half with a bit of pace and a bit of fitness. Adam England, Smalling and Jones look vulnerable. We were talking about that in the hour before, weren't we, with Andy and the live comments. I didn't think Jones and Smalling looked anywhere near their best against Stoke on Monday night. Good saves from De Gea and bad finishing by Stoke sort of presented them with a clean sheet when they maybe should have got a goal themselves. So, I mean, Smalling's had a bit of a layoff, hasn't he? Tyrion says, why is the Arsenal score relevant? It isn't. It's not relevant at all. They're 11 points behind us. Are we playing well, says Aidan Lee. I'd say it's an average performance from United so far. Useless bang average, says somebody else. But we are the away side against a decent Premier League team, and a little bit of patience in these circumstances. What are we, 27 minutes in? And Blend Rachicha makes the really good point. We're not creating any chances, and that's why we need Sanchez. I'm tempted to go. I'll tell you what, we're not creating any chances, and Goldbridge needs a beer, is what I'm tempted to say. And Pogba is just straight out world class, as Daniel Dagar. And I'm going to bed with this kind of play, says Liu Quan Vun. It won't be very enticing. And Matthew McFadden says, DiMarzio said that the deal should happen very soon. I'll tell you what, you've arrived in life when you beat DiMarzio to a deal. And for anybody who watched us last Sunday afternoon, when we went live and said that Sanchez to United was definitely going to happen, nobody was saying it then. They were saying talks were ongoing, but nobody committed to it was definitely going to happen. We were the first. Well, apart from Agent Edward and all the crap liars on Twitter who have no credibility. I know we are a massive YouTube channel. You are a massive YouTube channel. I'm messing around with a pen because it's your channel. And it would have been extremely dangerous to gamble the reputation of this great community on something we didn't have a bloody clue about. So we didn't. We had good information that Sanchez was definitely going to come to United. We went live nearly a week ago, and I hope you've had a... I wouldn't say it's been a great week myself because I've been refreshing Twitter like mad waiting for the official signing, but it's been nice knowing that the deal was always going to happen. And Tommy Tiptoe says sleepy right now. Probably because it has been quite a tiring week, expecting it to happen. But Red Jedi says stop gloating. I'm only gloating on behalf of the community itself. It's a win for the United stand, which we take all together. Mad Marcus is on the live comments. Could do with him back in the co-commentary position, or the, well, not commentary, but you know what I mean. Josh Kicks. It's in the post, mate. Hi Mark, how are you? Says Ewan Gordon. I'm good, Ewan. I'm good. Sanchez is changing his mind with the scores so far, says Jack, MUFC. Yeah, I'm sure he's absolutely changing his mind. Arsenal beating a team threatening relegation at home, and United drawing 0-0 with one of the form teams of the season. Mad Marcus is on the live comments for you. Just while he is there, I'm desperate for the toilet. I'll be back in 2 minutes. United won't score, don't worry. Goldfinger. Back with another one of those black rocking beats. Looks like there's been a yellow card for Burnley. I think Lingard will be alright with that. Half an hour gone. Went to get an orange. Put some oil on that door, Ash. Yes, I do need to do that. Still 0-0. Don't believe the haters. And it is still 0-0. Ah. Andrew Hall says he's not even joking. This game's made for Fellaini. I think we were. I thought I'd lost you all there because my live comments had gone. Hopefully we've got you back. Let me know if we do or we don't. It's difficult for me sometimes. Yeah. Yeah, we got you. All fine this end. Good, good, good. That's fine. Okay. Danny H says we need to bring on Rashford for Mata or Lingard. I wouldn't be too depressed about United so far. I think it's an interesting tussle, says Johnny Bravo. It's a tough place to go, Burnley, and they are doing very, very well. I think we just need to be a bit patient. I think we just need to tire them out. Have a little patience, as Gary Barlow once eloquently wrote in his Take That Prime. Mark, if you could pick who our other two signings would be in the summer, who would they be? Funnily enough, I've got a video lined up about that. Got a video like that already lined up, so I don't want to give too much away, but I have given it some thought. Haish says my glasses look stupid, wear contacts. I only need to wear my glasses for occasional reading and TV and computer work. So it's just like many United fans, I've had a very tiring week this week, and I just felt like wearing my glasses. Leave me alone, you glassicists. Oh, I don't think Ashley Young's having a very good game, is he? Leicester 1-0 up against Watford. Please say it was Vardy. I think the game's starting to stretch a little bit. We're only 9 minutes away from half time at the moment, and the game is starting to stretch a little bit. But Burnley are a good side. You know, they're battling Arsenal for 6th, I believe. So, yeah. Eggsy from Kingsman. I like that one. I look like a Poundland Tintin, says Alan Kubilas. Oh, just keep throwing banter at me. I love it. You know, I've got wings of steel, me. Call me Batfink. Vardy penalty. Good. I've got Vardy in my fantasy Premier League team, so that's good. Mantaps from Indonesia. Well, cool by Valencia. Vardy scored a penalty, says Chad Sproul. Playing without ideas, says Johnny Rings. I look like Alan Carr. God, they're getting worse. Thanks, VK Dean, and you're a regular. Everton created more chances for Lukaku than this, says John Sherrell. Well, it's a different sort of team that he was playing with at Everton, isn't it? Everton teams didn't sit back and defend against Everton. They fancied the chances, and that would create space for Lukaku. So, and Ricardo Fidelgo, I agree with you. Burnley are a very solid team, especially at home. Joe 90 says Gungshi. I used to get called that at work, so nice one. Yeah, welcome. I think the good thing is Martial seems to be getting a lot of the ball, which obviously is a positive for United. I like his creativity. Mark Moon says I look like him and he looks great. How are we doing for subscribers anyway? Let's have a subscriber shout out. We're nearly at 181,000 subscribers, so if you are new to the United Stand today, make sure you click that subscribe button in the bottom right hand corner. After the show today, we will be opening up Skype for you to have your say on this game and everything else. I haven't watched Black Mirror. I'm watching a very, 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 very good series at the moment, which I'm not going to tell you what it is because you'll just give spoilers and stuff. But I've been meaning to watch it for a while and it's really good. I'm going to watch it. I watched 3 last night. I'm going to watch a couple tonight as well. Why aren't we bossing the midfield? Says Cult Personality. I don't know. Has Matic made a couple of tackles yet? Because I need him to make a couple of tackles and I need Lukaku to have a couple of shots and I need us to win for my bet to come in. Penfold. The banter's... I'd love to say that these glasses are comedy glasses. I predicted this game was going to be a little bit boring and I thought I'll wear a pair of glasses to make it funny on the stream. I have watched Peaky Blinders, Chad Sproul. Give us a clue, Temmie. No, I'm not, because people are horrible. Star Wars got mentioned before I'd seen it, and everybody told me about Skywalker. And I was very angry that those 2 people who did it got blocked and will never be allowed back. They've even said, can we please come back? It was a mistake. I said, no. Learn from your mistakes. Don't be a spoiler. Burnley the better side, says some people think football. I do like the fact that Martial's been involved in the game a lot. I think he's had a good game from what I've seen. Not really getting Lukaku into the team. I see what you mean about that move by Young. I think in olden days he might have just took a tumble there for anybody who saw it. But sort of ran into the box. Multis 1 says Marcel's been useless. I don't know what game you're watching, mate. If retention of the ball and rotation of the ball is useless, God knows. I think the old Ashley Young would have gone down there, but with Mike Dean in the team, no. But I think Ashley Young did well there. And Danny H, Martial's our best player with Pogba. I'd agree. I don't know what people are on about in relation to... It's not Peaky Blinders, Sam the Man. I've watched all of that. There's progress now where there once was none. Oh yes, there's progress now when there once was none. Don't go changing. Try to leave me. So we're very close to half time. So let's take a chance. So many bad passes, says Nimi. Not good enough in the first half, says Akil. Only reason why I'm still awake is because of Red Bull. Tough going is how I would describe that half. But I just sort of cling on to the hope that maybe Manchester United in the second half will find some form. Anamor says, all I want is our wingers to run at the opposition's fullbacks. Yeah, be nice. Walking football mark, says Shabir Hassan. Take the glasses off and we'll store. 3 goals incoming in the second half, says Snaps. And we are at half time, which is 0-0 in this game for Manchester United. Yeah, it's look, I think tough going is a very good statement to make. It's been a very, very tough going for Manchester United. I think it was always going to be tough going because Burnley are a very tough side. I look at that Burnley team and I was looking at it in the week and there's nothing in it that makes me fearful of them. It's a championship side, but what Sean Dyche has done with them is obviously very, very good. They're riding high. They've got a good home record. They don't really have any superstars, but they've got 11 players who work really, really, really hard. United have got the better side, but we're not moving the ball quick enough. It's the same old story. And Burnley are up for a fight. And United, not all United players are always up for a fight. There's not a lot of space out there. The ball has found its way to Pogba and Martial a lot, but they've not been able to do a hell of a lot with it. I think Lingard's trying hard, but for the second game in a row, he's just doesn't seem to have that air about him that he had over Christmas and New Year. Doesn't mean he can't do it in the second half. Mata, is it Mata's sort of game? You know, little ground, tight atmosphere, they're up for it. Physical, is that Mata's sort of game? And Lukaku probably getting swamped up front a bit. But our class will come through, says Yanti. And I think in many ways, there are no overlaps, Carmichael, you're right. Shelley says it's disgraceful. I wouldn't go that far. I think it's just it's a too slow game, as somebody said there. It's a poor half. But Ashley Young probably had the best chance of the game there. Cutting in the box, could have took a tumble and curled it wide. But 0-0. I mean, I said it before the game. In the actual, when you look at it pragmatically, a point away to Burnley is frustrating, but actually probably isn't a terrible result in the grand scheme of things. But we need to win. I would hope that in the second half, Burnley's efforts will lead to drop-offs in their fitness levels, and United's class and quality should shine through. But they are a Premier League side, Burnley, so I wouldn't guarantee that would happen. And they are a home team to Manchester United, so adrenaline could see them through. But hopefully the discipline will drop away and leave us a little bit more space. We are finding Anthony Martial a lot. We are finding Paul Pogba a lot. And as the game goes on, hopefully they will find a little bit more space to do things. But this is why I believe we are moving for someone like Alexis Sanchez. Not just because he's a top-class player, but because when Martial gets the ball, he gets 3 or 4 players around him. There's nobody else in the United team who really gets that. Pogba a bit, but he's a midfielder. Mata, people aren't scared of him running at them. Lingard, he's having a bit of a quiet game, and obviously Lukaku's being occupied by defenders. So Martial's our sort of player that's going to create something, because we aren't bombing on. Valencia's not bombing on. Ashley Young's not bombing on, and that isn't committing enough players. So again, we've had another 45 minutes where we've not created a chance, and this is something that is rolling on week with United. We don't create many chances. A lot of the goals we score are very, very good goals, pretty much out of individual talent or a worldie. A bit like Martial, Lingard scored a lot. We're not creating those sort of chances that a lot of other teams do, and that's because we don't move the ball quick enough. We don't commit players forward enough. So we're not around the box enough to be creating those clear-cut opportunities. We're very, very poor at that. And Sanchez, assuming Sanchez comes in the team and we don't drop Martial, it gives us another another option. But I must just quantify it by saying that Burnley are a decent side. This is their cup final. They're at home. Not many teams go there and get results. So 0-0 at half time. Balance of play. I think it's been a 50-50 sort of half. We need to see better in the second half. I look at the bench. Somebody said in the first half this game's tailor-made for Fellaini. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Fellaini, but I always feel a Fellaini substitution's a backward step because you know what's going to happen. We're going to see the long ball, and we've seen a lot of long ball in this game. Burnley are not a team that you need to play long ball against. I just think we'd be giving up our game plan to try another game plan, and I wouldn't really want to see us doing that too early. Other options on the bench, well, Herrera's not going to make it change it in an attacking sense. Neither's McTominay, neither's Rojo. So again, you're looking at Rashford or Fellaini. Rashford woefully out of form. Look, Dylan Oddison says we need Lord Fellaini. Maybe Fellaini in the sort of last few minutes of the game might be of interest, but maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe we can get this game won without him. Craig Norwood, who's the freelance press agency photographer, and he's normally very, very good because he does the photography for Manchester United. He has just tweeted 3 minutes ago, Alexis Sanchez transferred to Manchester United, edging ever closer. Club hopeful to pencil in medical at Carrington in the next 48 hours. So that would take us to 3 o'clock on Monday. I still think that United could announce that deal pending a medical like we did with Lingard. So let's see what happens with it. But more importantly, Manchester United need to win this game. What do you think of Pogba's performance, says Bait Baran? It's not been terrible, has it? DJ Freeman says Martial out Rashford in. I think Martial's been one of our best players. It's amazing what different people see, isn't it? I think Martial's kept hold of the ball. He's not had much opportunity to run at people, but he looks our most dangerous outlet. I've not seen much from Mata. We need more width. Bring on Shaw, says Kevin O'Callaghan. I doubt he will ever do that. Anyone from Australia still here, says Tony Karan. I think it's very, very, very early in the hours in New Zealand and Australia. I think it's like 3-4 o'clock in the morning there. Martial's the best player in the first half, says David Garan. It's just some people have agendas, I think. Young played well, says Kian MC. Again, some people think he played bad. I had a bad feeling before the match, Mark, says Ridman. And the whole squad out, bringing a fresh 11, says Young Mitch. And get Shaw on to bomb down the left, says Thomas Charlton. I can't see him making that substitution at all, but maybe he shouldn't have dropped him in the first place. Put 2 up front, Lukaku and Martial, says Sammy Harper. I think Lukaku, unfortunately for him, is getting a little bit swamped. I would agree with that. He is having a lot to do. Remember, we've got 4,500 people watching. If you are new to the United Stand, subscribe, bottom right hand corner. We will be live at full time for an hour, taking your calls. You can talk about this game, whatever the result's going to be. You can talk about Sanchez. It's Skype straight after the game. You can Skype in and have your say. So join us for that. Make sure you subscribe. Lots going on. It's 2 a.m. in the Gold Coast, says Dale Ward in Australia. And it's 3 a.m. in Australia, Melbourne, says Hayder Hammond. Could we bring Herrera on, says Viking Red? Well, it's a possibility. It is a possibility because he's on the bench. I've updated about Craig Norwood, photographer, saying that next 48 hours for a medical for Alexis Sanchez. I want us to just announce it. Sod the bloody medical. Just announce it. We did it with Lindelof. Say he's signing pending a medical and shut it all down so we can all just have a bit of a relax. But he's coming. We told you a week ago he's coming. Rashford will change the game, says Alex Cross. I think that's a risk. He's not playing well at the moment. It's 1:25 a.m. in Darwin, Australia, says Christopher White. And dedicated fans in Australia, Dale Ward. Exactly. Global fans. Global fans. That's what Manchester United's all about. Biggest club in the world. Lukaku needs to get in the box more, says Quandini T. I think the ball needs to get in the box more, to be fair to Lukaku. There's no point in being in the box. He'll be offside the way United are playing. We're not getting the ball near the box enough. Midnight in Taiwan, says Gung Shi. William Prunier to United, 100% done deal, says Caelan Richardson. Yeah, that's a lie. Rashford on for Mata, get wingers wide and get forward, put something into the box for Lukaku, says Adam Dale. Very good comment, Adam. I think you're right. A lot of people were talking about that in the first half. The fullbacks aren't bombing on. The width is definitely the area to get at Burnley. They're well packed in the middle. The width is the way to go. But as we know with United, we really struggle putting crosses in the box. Mata off, says Jonas. I think he's had a very quiet half. And K Actors just said, where is Mata? Bring on Fellaini and Rashford, says James Ormrod. I think Lingard's had a quiet game as well. Lots of effort and endeavour. But I would be reluctant to make any rash substitutions any time in the first 15 minutes of the half. I would go till at least 60 minutes and see if anything changes. Because a little bit of a kick up the backside at half time. And this game can change. Has Mata really turned it on in the last few weeks? Says Paul Robinson. I'm surprised he's starting many games, to be honest. I'm surprised he's starting as many games as he is, because he wasn't always starting, but he seems to have pinned down that right position at the moment, which is interesting, because I don't personally think that he's done that well, but Shelley says that these players need the hairdryer treatment. If I was predicting who will come off, usual suspects, it'll be Martial for Rashford and probably Mata for Fellaini, and he'll put Lingard out wide because he never takes anybody else off. We'll be last on Match of the Day again as usual. I won't watch us on Match of the Day tonight. If we draw, I've got a decent box set I'm watching. Alex Cross, we score late. There was a very, very good comment in the first half about how Manchester United, at the moment, it's just about results, and if we can get 3 points here, it would be massively important for us to do so. When will Sanchez sign? All I can say is when Alexis Sanchez signs, we will go live. So subscribe to the channel, and if you have subscribed to the channel or you're new to the channel, there's a bell underneath the screen you can see with me now. Click that bell, tick, turn all notifications on. That when we go live, you'll get a notification on your phone or whatever. We will go live instantly when he signs. So if you want to see that video or you want a notification, subscribe to the channel and get your notifications on, because we've been waiting for this for a long time. And for anybody who saw us last Sunday, we did go live and say it was a done deal. I'll be telling you where we got that information from, because we don't keep things from you on the United Stand. Raiola is Costas. We needed Sanchez today, says Andrew Hall. I'm glad Andrew's just said that, because is that a good point? Is this, should Sanchez have been playing in this game today? Would he have made a difference? It's almost set for that headline, isn't it? 0-0, Manchester United 0, Burnley 0. We missed Sanchez today. It's almost set up for that. So Nathaniel's back again. Would be winning if we had Sanchez, says Paul Coyle. I think we should be good enough to win without Sanchez, to be honest. And I think we need to show that. And these players know that he's about to sign and shine. Sing the flood, Mark. These players know that Alexis Sanchez is about to sign. So what these players need to do is turn up in this game and find some bloody form, because their place, whether it's Martial, Lingard, Mata, Lukaku, Sanchez can play in any of those positions. All those players need to turn up in this game and start playing for the shirt a little bit more than they have done, because their place is up for grabs, potentially. What do we get? K Akhtar says, why don't we press? Why doesn't our team press higher up the pitch? Pretty much for the same reason that we don't move the ball around quickly. it's horrible to say it, but the reality is that Liverpool and Spurs and City, they play better football than us and quicker in the final third. It's not Mourinho's style to do that. It never has been. But we could do with it being a little bit quicker, because it obviously is a successful way of playing in the Premier League, and a lot of teams are very, very successful with it. But hopefully we will see a better United in the second half. I certainly think there's enough quality on that pitch to get this game won, and we definitely could do with winning it, because it's Chelsea are level on points with us right now. And I think Liverpool have got quite a winnable game as well. Second half's pretty much ready to start. Mark, Fanboy Supreme loves my glasses. Well, thanks for that, Fanboy Supreme. Three points would be boomtastic for United today, and hopefully we can get it. Hopefully we can get it, because we need it. We need it. We need it. Are Man United overpaying for Alexis Sanchez, as Olivia Lawton? I don't really care about whether we're overpaying or not until we know what the fee is. The reality is Manchester United can afford it. It's our own money. I think there's a real snob element to the press, that they give United so much hard time and they don't give City any hard time, when effectively City are the rich boys. It's not, it's not created, it's not earned. It's a bit like the Silver Spoon Brigade. United are like the the working class hero who's built their money up, and they're spending their hard-earned money, and yet we get bullied for it. Yet they're rich boys and girls at Manchester City with their silver spoon. They get no stick from the press. So I think it's it's snobbery from the press, to be totally honest with you. Second half is up and running. By the way, bit of a stupid situation at Burnley, where they walk across the bloody pitch. Yeah. 2-0 to us, says Gary Wells. Let's hope so. Caleb Carpenter says, I think Lukaku's been good so far. And G3S3B, I've been watching this channel for almost 3 years. I rely on the United stand for an enjoyable exchange, which allows me to feel in the loop about United. From Colorado, United States. Well, you're all part of it. You lot make the channel what it is. And Manchester United are a global club, as we all know. Let's see if we can see a better United in this second half then. We certainly need to. We need to be a little bit better offensively. Won a ton, and Nakashet says 3-0 to us. Well, let's see. Let's see. Chelsea is still a point behind us, says Blake HD. Not if we lose, mate. Not if we lose. We're only a point ahead of them if we get a point. Perhaps we're tired after our holiday, says Mark Robinson. I don't think my bet's going to come in at the moment because I don't know whether Matic has made 2 tackles, but I don't think Lukaku's had one shot on goal yet. Correct me if I'm wrong. That was my bet through the sign-up offer. Link in the video description. You can still sign up for that sign-up offer and get City Newcastle 50-1 offer. But my bet today was United to win, and then I had like a couple of extra bits to it. Matic to make 2 tackles and Lukaku to have 2 shots. I don't recall Lukaku having a shot in the first half. I don't recall Matic making a tackle either, but that's not so easy to spot. Oh. Poor by Lingard. That was good hold-up play by Lukaku, and Lingard needs to get the shot away, and he holds on for it to too long, way too long. As David Green said, Lingard should have got a shot away there, and it's now Burnley up the other end. Andrew Hoare said it was made for Sanchez today. I think Sanchez should have played today. I do. It'd have to have been signed to do that. Vivek says United to somehow score a goals. Lukaku didn't have a shot, but Matic made a tackle, says Kwesi Brown. Oh no, he's got 2 now. Manu Fanatic 99 says Matic has made 2 tackles. So we just need Lukaku to have a couple of shots and United to win. At least we know Lukaku won't come on. Matic has got 2 tackles, says Michael Collins. Did anyone else do the bet? I don't know whether anyone else does them, but I feel a bit guilty now. It's still 45 minutes. Lingard's looking like a squad player again, says Sammy Harper. You can say it on here, mate, and you'll get treated fairly, but don't tweet it. You'll get absolute pelters. It's only a couple of minutes in, but United look like they've got a little bit more about them in this first couple of minutes of the half. But then it's like, we get into a position there where we sort of slightly got them on the break, and then a couple of sideways passes, and Burnley get everyone back again. I'm going to take a note about that for after the game. If we don't win. So slow in the final third. You watch somebody like Liverpool or Man City or Spurs. That final third, they're whizzing it around really quickly. And United are just so slow. It's one side to the other. And we've had this for 4 years. Karan Bansal says that Pogba looks lethargic today. Martial going down under a tackle, not getting a free kick as per bloody usual. I'm amazed that Lingard didn't get that shot away a minute ago. Why he wasn't shot? Why he didn't? Gents Tech, I do sort of agree with you. The grey kit is a real sort of drain. I don't like the grey kit. I don't know what. As soon as we picked that grey kit, it automatically made me think of that season when we had to change it at half time against Southampton. I know people talk about, you shouldn't believe in like superstitions and stuff, but it's amazing how many players do have superstitions. And I think the problem United always had with that grey kit was being able to see each other. That's crap by Mata. Yeah, Craig Norwood has spoken on UFC 14. We know the medical's going to happen in the next 48 hours. My score prediction was 2-1 Josh JV, but with it being 0-0 at half time, I would maybe change that. Mark Stevart says, I don't see Alexis announced before tomorrow. We could announce it pending a medical. We did that with Lindelof, and we did that at about 8:45 on a Saturday night. So that could happen. Or we could wait and do it. The thing is, though, when Sanchez gets announced, does that mean Arsenal announce Mkhitaryan at the same time? Got a pink away kit next year, as Mark just said again. Alucard says that Lukaku is so isolated, he looks like a headless chicken. I certainly, United are the better team in the second half. You've got to give them that. They are the better team in the second half. Vincent O'Hara says it's hard to watch this dross. And Breach69 says we'll be out of the top 4 if we don't improve in the next few games. We've got Yeovil next Friday night, and then we've got Spurs at Wembley. And if we only took a point here today or worse, and then we don't get anything out of Spurs, we could well be down to 5th. It's ridiculous when we've been second all season. We are perilously close for it to go wrong, which is why we've got to get something from this game. But we've started second half slightly better. But that tends to be when United concede sometimes, especially away from home. Right, there's an opportunity now with United to break away. Let's see how quick we move it before we play a sideways pass. Oh, fucking hell. One bit of movement and we're playing a sideways pass. There's no purposeness on the... I think it was Mata there. There's just no purposefulness when we get on that break situation. He turns onto his left foot and plays a sideways pass. I think there's been a goal, folks, because there's people further ahead of us. We're just waiting for it to now. This is what happens when it's... Lots of people celebrating it. Just waiting. Good work by Lukaku. Oh, it's lovely play by Lukaku. And... Woohoo! What a ball by Lukaku. And Martial smashes it home. That's 1-0 to Manchester United, and that's why all those people at half-time who were saying Martial's had a bad half. I don't know where you are, but sit down. Brilliant. What a goal. What a goal by Anthony Martial. Anthony Martial. Bloody hell. Woo, brilliant. Alexis Sanchez, who? He is the man. 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 Love him. Absolutely love him. He's my favourite player. I keep saying it all the time. And it was a really, really good bit of play by Lukaku. Build-up play. Puts him in. But the finish is just... does him with the eyes and almost puts it in the top corner. This guy's just getting better and better and better. He is a sensational footballer. And we are absolutely blessed to have him. And the fact that Arsenal thought they could have him as part of the deal. Sit down. Sit down and take your medicine. Unbelievable. Martial, 1-0, Manchester United. And I said they'd come out in the second half better. And they have come out in the second half better. But really good play by Lukaku. And Martial, fantastic. And I agree. I think fully deserved. Fully deserved. And what a goal it was. And what an important result it would be, says Kaylan Hall. Still a long, long, long way to go. Long, long way to go in this game. But at the moment, United 1-0 up. A lovely goal by Martial. Really, really good goal. Really good goal. Get watching that. Give it some love. It were proper bow. Oh, it's 1-1. A stupid free kick. Sorry, I'm obviously not getting it. Everybody else, but looks like it's a free kick for much the same as it was. Oh no, they didn't equalise. Sorry, everyone's like, this is the trouble with 3 o'clock kickoffs. Everyone's all over the place. But Defoe's got a really good position for a free kick, and he did score against us at Burnley. Sorry, on Boxing Day. But it was Goodmanson who hits the free kick and hits the bar. I think De Gea might have not got near it. It is 1-0. It is not 1-1. Sorry, that was my problem. I'm sort of falling into traps here, but it's not 1-1. It is 1-0 to Manchester United. My apologies to everybody there. Trust your own eyes, not those of other people, is a lesson. Sorry, Adam, and everybody else. I did scare a few people there. It's not. It is 1-1. It's not 1-1. It's 1-0. I've done it again. I've done it again. I tell you what, it's a much better second half though. I think everybody was a bit sort of unhappy with United in that first half, and totally understand why. But the second half is a lot more end to end. There's a lot more space in it. For some reason, both sides seem to have taken that sort of route, and United need to be a little bit careful because it's very end to end, and the old cliche of the next goal is going to make a massive difference on this game. Very, very true. Very, very true at this moment in time. What are we thinking? It's 1-0. Don't listen. Don't look. All I'll ever say is don't listen to the fake scores, because they're fake. I don't know whether I'd make any changes at the moment, because if the moderators want to time out fake scorers, that's fine. Not got a problem with that at all. But it's 1-0 to United, and relax. Look, the whole point, the reality is don't listen to the live comments, but in relation to any scores, just wait until you get a score update on here. That's the simplest way to do it, because people will try and be immature, and we can't control that. But we will time out people who put fake scores up. Don't think Lukaku's even had a shot on goal yet, has he? I need him to have 2. I'd love him to have 2. But that's why Anthony Martial's in the team, isn't it? Oh, what a player he is. What a player. Just love him. Absolutely love him. Fantastic player. Fantastic player. Tony Martial, Tony Martial. I don't think it's going to stay 1-0. I really don't. I think there'll be another goal in this game for sure. Not for Luke Shaw. I just think there'll definitely be another goal in this game. It's so open and it's so end to end. Gareth Armstrong, Sanchez tonight. Alexis Sanchez can take. I'll put my mind back on Alexis Sanchez when we've got 3 points here. This is the reality at the moment is we need to win this game. Massively important that we do that. And great. Oh, it's just such a goal. I'd watch Match of the Day tonight just for that goal. It's such a good goal by Martial. And the thing I liked about that goal more than anything is what we were talking about half time. Oh, we don't create enough chances. We don't create enough good chances. That was a created chance. It wasn't an bit of individual brilliance. It was hard work by Lukaku, who feeds Martial into a decent position, who finishes it really well. You know, and I think that's really important from United is that we start scoring those sort of goals because we just don't create enough. We don't create enough chances like that. So much space in both ends at the moment, and I think if United make it 2-0, it's game over. Obviously, if Burnley can get back in it, it makes it very interesting. Be a massive win for us though if we can get it. We can't sit back now. So said Jamie. Well, how many times? How many times have we done that in big games like this? If anybody sees Lukaku have a shot on goal, let me know, because my bet's looking good. Matic, 2 tackles, United to win, but I needed Lukaku to have 2 shots on goal. I don't think he's done it. Has he had a shot on goal yet? Sandy Baggs says he might have done. I don't think he has. Phil Jones is Martial. I don't know whether that can be counted as a shot by Lukaku. Andrew Hoare says, mark my words, Real Madrid are going to unsettle Anthony Martial. I think Anthony Martial is made for the La Liga though. Their defences are much worse. There's so much more space. Richard O'Sullivan thinks that counts as a shot from Lukaku. It doesn't have to be a shot on target, Usman. It just has to be a shot. But I don't know whether they'll class that as a shot. I'm dubious. I'm dubious. I'll probably have to go to the dubious goals committee, that one. Well done, Snaps. I was just about to do the same. Still got 20 minutes to go. 25 minutes to go. We're going to need a second goal in this. 1-1 in the Everton game, says Lee Osborne. 4-4 in the Arsenal Crystal Palace game. They've done it again. 4-0 up at half time. 4-4. Unbelievable, that football club. They just do not know how to stop getting L's. I'm joking. I'm joking. Just in case there's an Arsenal fan, which I'm sure there isn't. So we need one more shot from Lukaku on goal and United to win this game, and then the bets come in. Did anyone do the bet? I told you. I told you it was going to be an exciting one. I think Matt has had a bad game. Joe, go. I agree. Pogba looks like he wants a red card, says Johnny Ring. Vladimir Stroganoff says you've gained a few subscribers today because of the glasses. Yeah, I'm going for the female market. That's apparently I look nice in glasses. I don't. It was a joke. The yellow card for Pogba. I don't think this is Matta's sort of game. Look, everyone's going to have a game where they're not at the races. I'd take Matta off. But you can guarantee he probably keeps Matta on, and well, if De Gea does what normally De Gea does and keeps a clean sheet, then we've won this game. As simple as that. Matta off and Mkhitaryan on. Ah, Mickey. Connor Wood says that Matic hasn't had a tackle yet. I thought he'd had 2 tackles. Whoever's feeding me false information, I thought Matic had made 2 tackles. Fellaini deserves the golden glove. Fellaini on for Matta. Well, unless Lingard's going out to the right, maybe we're just shoring up the midfield. Why is he even still at the club? You know, seriously, why is he being used when he's not signed a bloody contract? I mean, it's just a piss take. It really is a joke of our club that this player won't even sign a new contract with us, and yet we're bringing him on in important games. It doesn't make any sense. He's not even that good. I don't understand it. It just makes a mockery of Manchester United, this lad coming on. I'd rather Scott McTominay come on than him, because he won't even commit to the club and sign a contract. I don't want him to. But, Lukaku, you could have shot then. That would have been my bet in. Clown. Why didn't he shoot? The score's right. It's 1-0. Come on. Fellaini or not, let's just get the bloody 3 points out of this game, because it would be massive for us in the context of our season to do it. What are you doing, Mark? What's all the clicking? I have to multitask. That's what I'm doing. I'm just doing a little bit of artwork for the thumbnail while United get this game won. And I can gladly tell you that win, lose or draw, the thumbnail for the match reaction will be that man from France. Fellaini's 100th appearance at United, says Kenneth Brown. We're parking the bus with Fellaini coming on, to be honest. Let's be honest. With 15 minutes to go. Well, Lingard's gone out to the right, which... I mean... Lingard can play on the right though, can't he? I mean, Lingard can play on the right, and maybe we could play Sanchez centrally. There's lots of options. I can't wait to do that video, to be honest, as to where Alexis Sanchez could play for Manchester United, because there are a number of positions he could come in and play for us. And I think, I sort of do think that the sort of let's put him out on the right wing could be a bit wasted for a player that's going to be our star player. Although Martial plays on the left, doesn't he? And he's our star player, so. Matic going in the book as well. Be a massive 3 points. I'm getting nervous. Yes, everybody. I'm like you. I'm very nervous about this result, because we definitely need to win. And Matic has made 2 tackles, says Cal Carmody. That's good to know. We just need a Martial, another shot from Lukaku would be nice in the next 15 minutes, and then if United win, the bet comes in. I like these sort of bets. I think we'll do these sort of bets in the future because it gives everybody can sort of get involved in them, and then I get the success when the bet comes off. But you can sort of help me out in the statistical side of it. So my bet was United to win, Lukaku to have 2 shots, didn't have to be on target, and Matic to make 2 tackles. So as things stand, United are winning. Matic has made 2 tackles, and Lukaku has had 1 shot. So we need Lukaku to have another shot on goal, and then as long as United win, it comes in. I think Rashford's about to come on for Martial from what people are saying. Imran Patel's just subscribed. Welcome to the channel, pal. Welcome to all our new subscribers. I know we're getting a few new ones on the watch along. Make sure you've clicked your bell and you've got your notifications on, because we will be going live when Alexis Sanchez signs. We're live every night at 8 o'clock, and fantastic community. This is what it's like. You won't regret joining in with the United stand. Phil Jones is Martin's man of the match so far. I think Lingard has been a little bit reluctant to shoot in the game today, which is odd. I think Lingard's off for Rashford, which I think is a fantastic decision, that we don't take Martial off. You know, I think we all would have predicted that he would take Martial off, and I think it's a real positive that he hasn't done that, because it just shows. I think Lingard's been poor the last couple of games for United. Poor again today. Sorry, poor against Stoke, and poor again today. Jones has been good today, says Gungshi. A lot of people just stunned that Anthony Martial's not going off. I'm going to use this opportunity to just quick take a toilet break, because I haven't got anybody with me today, and I don't want any, like, I'm not playing a violin or anything like that. I just, after this, we're live for an hour taking your calls, so I don't want to be doing it then. So I'll be back in a mo. Hashtag oil the door, says Priest Puncher. Thanks for that advice, Priest Puncher. Got a bad feeling about this, says David Baratheon. Come on, United, make it 2-0. Kevin says, when will Sanchez sign? I totally understand the excitement, and maybe because I've known all week that he definitely is going to sign, I'm more relaxed about it than everybody else. But to be honest with you, Sanchez at the moment is a firm second in relation to Manchester United getting 3 points. Sanchez can sign bloody in a week and a half for all I care, because we haven't got a league game until 2 weeks today. We're playing in the FA Cup next weekend, so I don't care if Sanchez doesn't sign for another week and a half as long as we get the 3 points today. 3 points is more important. Ben on Wubali says, thanks for the contribution, Ben. He says, this is quite a terrible performance, quite possibly the worst of the season. Don't care if we are winning. Yeah, you might be right, Ben, but to be honest, Zani Scope says it's not the worst, but I think we probably have played worse, to be honest. But what I would say is that it really is about getting the 3 points in a game like this. And good little bit of running by Rashford there, just didn't take the ball with him. Paul Gibson, come on, 8 minutes left, let's not miss this up. In fairness, how many good chances have Burnley had in this game as well? This team needs a bit more quality than Pogba and Martial in the attack. I agree with that. Guy Tung Kwok has just subscribed. Welcome to the channel, pal. I find Lukaku a little bit sloppy. I think Lingard's been sloppy today. Rashford's obviously out of form. Matt has had a very quiet game. We do need another player. We do need another player. Ashley Young. On reflection, should he have started out of Luke Shaw? Don't know. I think he was always going to. You know what? I'm not going to defend Jose on that. I mean, without a doubt, got a couple of contributions here. We've been very lethargic today, says Matthew McFadden. It's clear to see what Sanchez would bring to us. That needed a bit of energy to create something out of nothing. Yes. Andy Ashton's made a contribution. Buy some WD-40 on me for the door. Yeah, it's on the list, is what I would say. Chris Smalling's been very good today. I think they've both been good at the back. Anthony Curnow, 3 points and sod off home. I agree with that, mate, I think. Very hard place to come to and get a result. And if we do it, strings to our bow, isn't it? It will frustrate our rivals more than it will frustrate me, to be honest. We just needed to win this game today, and it's never over till it's over, obviously. But as we saw at Leicester, I reserve judgment till that final whistle goes, because you never know which way it's going to go. But we've been we've contained Burnley quite well in this game so far. And you know, Burnley aren't where they are in the league undeservedly. I don't think Lukaku's going to get the 2 shots I wanted him to have, though, is he? I think Lukaku's got an eye problem, says Khan X. It's definitely stretched. United should be looking at getting a second goal here. Good save by Pope from Martial. You can't do much more than that. I mean, Martial pretty much could have won it there. Well. Remember, we've got the call in after the show. You can call in, have your say on the game. Very interested to see what people have got to say. For me, obviously, I'll give you my thoughts as well, but really interested to see what you've got to say about Sanchez as well. Maybe a bit about Mourinho and his tactics, bringing Fellaini on with 20 minutes to go. Skype Goldbridge, all one word. It'll be on a separate stream, which I'll give you the details of as I'm ready to do so. Be interested to see how many minutes the referee adds on into this game. Mike Dean hasn't had a big decision to make that's gone against us yet. Oh, I thought that was the thing going up. It's not quite time for that yet. Substitutions from Burnley. The thing we don't want to see happen is Manchester United sit back and soak up pressure like we did against Leicester at the moment. The ball is in the Burnley half, and that's really where it needs to stay. We hope. This is surely this is going to be it. Oh, bloody Rashford. He deserves a rocket up the arse there, Marcus Rashford. Where's his head gone at the moment? All he's got to do is slip Lukaku in for a one-on, literally a tap-in almost for Lukaku, and he doesn't get. Furious, absolutely furious that is from Rashford. Gungshi, this team really needs more speed and creativity, and Alexis will be a step in that direction. We still need more, though. Thanks for the contribution, Alexi. Rashford has lost his confidence. 5 minutes to be added on in this game, so bloody ages yet. And corner for Burnley. Parking the bus. We're parking the bus. Bloody Rashford. He's just woefully out of form, isn't he, at the moment, Marcus Rashford? I think we become a worse team when he comes on, which is sad. Tense, tense, tense. I'm just setting up the stream. I am trying to keep an eye on it, but well, I am keeping an eye on it, obviously. But I'm just sort of thinking, if I don't watch, Burnley won't score, because I don't think we're going to score in the final third. The amount of chances we've had to put this game to bed and we haven't done it is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Valencia, Martial coming off. Never quite gets the full game, does he? Herrera on for 2 minutes. The glasses are lucky glasses, you're right. I'll have to start wearing the glasses every time now, as long as this winning run runs on. Oh, dear me. Dear me. Tense. Massive 3 points if we get it, though. Massive 3 points if we get it. Oh, God. I think they're going to have a corner here for Burnley. My God. This can't be a Leicester. Whatever happens, this cannot be a Leicester. Come on. Come on. Manchester United, clean sheet, 1-0 win. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic win for us. We had to win that game. We did win that game. More importantly, eyes can now come back to our man Alexis Sanchez. Fantastic win. Really pleased with it. Had to work for it, but a great win. Right, the link in the video description, top line of the video description is our match reaction. We are going to be taking Skype calls. I want as many people to call in as possible. Give us your thoughts on the game. Also, give us your thoughts on the Sanchez deal. So, link in the video description for that. Join us, 60 seconds time. Top line, link in the video description, or just go through the homepage. It's called Anthony Martial Goals, Win It, Burnley 0, Manchester United 1. We'll be discussing lots of things about United over the next hour. So join us for that. If you love United and you like call-ins, it's the United Stand Skype call-in. Give us your thoughts on the game. Sanchez, top line in the video description is the link. It's waiting for you there, the live comments, and I'll be there live with you in 60 seconds time. See you in a minute. Right, end this one and start the other.